48 professional mahjong players, 16 teams, but only one team can be the strongest. Welcome to the final session of the Saikyosen Team Battle qualifier. We've got two great games for you today. I'm Chiral, the one behind the controls, and joining me for game one today is Nathanael. Hi.
Happy to be here in the final session of the qualifying portion of the Saikyosen Team Battle.
Yeah, only 5 matches left, and one team is not going to make it to the next round, but every position you get is going to make the next round a little bit easier for you. We'll get to that later, but yes. We'll also be hearing from Jenn in game 2. Our broadcast today is sponsored by the WRC and USPML. We hope you'll check out Sparrow's Nest, a New York mahjong studio fully equipped with Slim Score, Ultima, and Rex 3 order tables. WRC, of course, is the World Riichi Championship, the most prestigious and international mahjong tournament in the world, held once every 3 years. The next of which, actually, I don't know when the next one will be, but
well,
the last one recently finished.
We do know that it will be in 2028 and in New York. So we have
it's in New York. Awesome.
US players are looking forward to that for sure.
So I say, yeah, I know Tokyo just finished.
It did finish, and at the end, the final ceremony, they did announce where the next would be held, and so we look forward to flying to the US, to New York City for the next rendition of the World Riichi Championship. So exciting.
Awesome. But yeah, I know you were in Japan, right? During WRC Tokyo. I know that we saw some videos from you back when you were the last broadcast we did.
Oh, yeah.
How was that?
It was an absolutely fantastic trip. The WRC event itself was amazing, although I didn't make it to the team finals or the individual finals. I had a great time. I got to do commentary as expected, and it was an absolute blast. I stayed for a whole month in Japan, so I'm just now trying to catch up to all the things that I have neglected in the US, but it was definitely worth it.
Absolutely, yeah. It sounded like you were having a great time. Like even getting to sort of visit like the Sankei Shimbun Cup studio. I was so jealous when I saw that video. It's like, so cool.
Yeah, we're gonna cut into the video of the events, and it's just incredible that you get to see. Hey, I was sitting in those chairs. I was I saw those banners. I took a photo of myself in front of one of those banners. It's really awesome.
I guess the other thing that WRC have been doing recently is, of course, the World Riichi Online Team League. I think we're 3 weeks in so far, and I haven't played 20 matches yet. I think I've played 17.
I've seen some
so
players
I'm getting there.
that have already hit their minimum and more, but I've got a ways to go as well.
Yeah, I think my first 20 is going to be like around about 0, and I don't see that as a bad score. I just see it as like a benchmark to then build on, you know? So it's going to be good. Hi, Brian. Hi, how you doing? Hope you're ready for 2 games today. But yes, we are the WRC YouTube channel. If you're enjoying these broadcasts, please do like, subscribe, do all the wonderful things YouTube allows you to do. The more our channel grows, the more stuff we have to broadcast for you all. But we're here for the Saikyosen Team Battle. And let's get a quick overview of the rules. Pretty sure it's very similar to WRC. But we do have the Ipatsu, we do have the Eurodora, we do have a 30,000 point starting score. And with no busting on dealer win, I believe we're going to be maybe seeing a nice South 4 run. It's always interesting. I like that rule set personally, because I like being able to recover from last dealership sometimes, you know? But yeah, no ties and head bump. So it is one of those rules where if 2 people win on the same tile, only one of them gets to take the points. But otherwise, hopefully it's going to be a rule set that you are all rather familiar with. But how are people going to score points in this league? It's actually just based on the position. So some tournaments you have the score matter like actually in-game, and that it does matter here as well, but only in case of a tiebreaker. As it stands, if you get first place, your team scores 3 points. If you get second place, your team scores 2. Third place, 1, and fourth, you don't score any points, I'm sorry. This is the final session of this qualifier, so I suppose we should look at the scores for our players.
Let's do it. And of course, we have had Team DD Studio at the top for the vast majority. They've passed the, thrown back and forth between AMC Dental a couple times, but they've always been near the top or ahead, and after the last session, they're definitely taking a large advantage into these final 5 games.
Yeah, it's really important to try and get that first place right, because getting a free bye into the finals rather than having to go through the next round, it's going to be huge.
Not only do they have
and
a huge...
I guess the other thing we should talk about is 15th to 16th place. Currently the same score, but being separated by that tiebreaker, that individual score for only on ties. If Alban places above All Serious in the next 5 games, doesn't matter what the actual in-game score is. One of these teams is going to make it to the next round, one of them's not.
Got 2 placement spots to play for. First and not last.
Not last,
fitting,
exactly.
Fitting, isn't it? Very similar to what we see in the game of Mahjong itself.
And I know for a fact that we'll be seeing Team Alban play in the first game today. The official broadcast does follow the team in first place, so we've seen a lot of GDC and we're going to see even more of them. But who else are they playing today? In the EC, we have representing Team Tomozoe Shoten, who is sort of in the middle of the pack right now, Kazunori Takizawa from JPML. In the South Seat, representing Team Orfeu, we have Tojyo from JPML, also sort of in the middle of the pack, so maybe getting a position is going to be really, really good. But then we have, second to last, Masahiro Suura from JPML, representing Team Alban, needing to win these games to try and get into that next round. And of course, in the North Seat, we have Team DD Studio being led by Toru Yajima today from NPM. 3 JPML players, 1 NPM player. It's going to be quite fun to watch, I think. I'm looking forward to it.
Now let's get ourselves underway in the final session here of the qualifying portion. A couple of M-Leaguers at this table. Takizawa, of course. Love the t-shirts. Tojyo as well.
I wonder if I were the one playing here, would I want a sports jacket, or do I just want to be really sports jacket? Obviously. Team logo.
In the heat of the summer, maybe t-shirt.
That too.
But I'm sure it's cool in the studio. Wow, this is an interesting high pie to start with.
Yeah, wait, right from the get-go. Going to keep the North as a possible safety tile later on. But not that we really need to worry about safety right now when the hand is that close to complete already.
Right? At this point, you're just counting the number of draws until you get to slam that Riichi.
Exactly. So though, also with a pretty interesting start, potentially just going for a very quick all simples with that 5 of characters Dora. I think they have 2, 3, 4, 6, so they can accept it. They have to use to draw it first. Yeah, there it is.
And Yajima with the early 6-pin cut from the pair seems to have a Honitsu plan for this. And I wonder if Team DD Studio will be playing any way differently than they were at the beginning of the season. They are 4 points ahead of their nearest competition, but that doesn't mean you can sit idly by. You do need to score points.
Yeah, exactly. You've still got 5 games left, and with 3 points on the table for everyone, every game, potentially you could get a score gap of 15 here. So 4 is not enough to just sort of relax.
Still boldly pushing forward for the flush, announcing loudly his goal. Tojyo was considering an outside hand, perhaps a Junchan, but the 6-monk kind of gets in the way of that.
Still does advance the hand. Might be seeing a very early reach. I could see it. A little bit of backfire, unfortunately drawing the 4 of bamboo there after cutting the 3. But not the end of the world, especially now you see a reach come out from the dealer.
Takizawa, Riichi, Ipeiko waiting on the 7, so had been considering a Chitoi possibility with the 7-pin keep, but this early tempai as the dealer will start to apply pressure.
Yeah, that moment when you don't have any safe tiles, the 7-pin being the reach tile does make the 9 seem a little bit scarier to me, but it is an early reach, and there wasn't much else that you had safe, so just play the 9, stay as efficient as possible, try and win first.
Yajima with a couple honor tiles, nothing super safe, so he'll play the once cut Jin. Suda a lot more desperate here to win the hand. Oh,
And by my count, there's only one of those 7 of bamboo left to draw, so could be here a while. I don't see them drawing it just yet.
and the longer that we sit around, the more likely it is that one of these players will be able to challenge or become incentivized to challenge. Tojyo, in particular, is getting close, and Yajima keeps drawing Manzu. He might be forced
Not
into
just
fighting.
Manzu, but Dora too now, with that extra 5 mark.
This is Tenpai for Tojyo Neo. Will it be taken? Dama.
If you draw, great. You're out of this hand safely, but not the greatest way. Oh, another Manzu tile! And
It's
as you say,
Tenpai.
absolutely got to push.
Honitsu, Dora 2, potentially Yakuhai as well.
That's the last 7 of bamboo there. That deals into the dealer reach, and it comes out!
Tojyo pushes her Tenpai, and that will deal into Riichi Ipeko.
From the dealer, not a bad way to start a match.
3,900, and Takizawa will get off to the early lead. That's what we
It's
saw.
always fun to sort of look at the
Honestly, the
reactions
player
of
that was defending the most was Suda for Team Alban. The other two found a Tenpai.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the thing, though, right? Alban needs to score points. They don't necessarily need to get first place, although that would definitely be helpful. But they need to make sure that they are not in last place at the end of this game.
Yeah, and
They are
scoring
fighting for
points
their life.
doesn't necessarily mean pushing recklessly, as we saw. Suda, the only player to cautiously approach that hand. The other two were already close to Tenpai, and so they found themselves pushing a little bit more easily.
I think Alban was 2 away for all simples, but
Yeah.
it was just all simples. So, yeah, sometimes it's discretion's the better part of valor, right? Speaking of being 2 away, do you believe Suura is already 1 away right now? Not with the greatest weight, but 1 away is 1 away.
Door Dragon.
I take it back. Now Suura's 1 away. But yes.
Yeah, we'll, of course.
Problem is that the white dragon there, yes.
Exactly. Once caught, you want to use it for value, but the options are limited. It might even come out here just for efficiency's sake.
Yeah, 468 is a nice shape just to keep. It's almost as good as a 2-sided weight. I mean, it is a 2-sided weight, but it's almost as good as like a Riam and like a 5-6, right? It just takes a little bit of extra space in the hand for the same number of acceptance.
Yajima has been improving steadily. The one so finds a pair. Now, a bit overblocked, we'll have to cut one of the Jiamen shapes. Option perhaps to cut the one of the so shapes because the tile acceptance overlaps. We'll take a look at the next improvement.
Yes, and that's exactly what we're going to see.
Shoten for Yajima.
Okay, I was going to say I think it's interesting that they chose to give up on the potential Sanshoku, but then we see 2 of the 2 of bamboo out. So even though you would really want to draw the 5 of the Sanshoku anyway, if you kept the 3-4.
It's 3 so. We'll deal into Tojyo, who had opened up earlier. She found the Penchon fill. Nice 7-pin draw, and we'll snipe away a few points. 1,000 becomes 1,300 with the addition of the Honba, and the dealership will pass to her own.
It is always interesting to see sort of how the format changes how you play, right? When position is the only thing that matters, oftentimes it's interesting to see whether you want to go for like a cheap hand just to try and keep all the scores as close together as possible for as long as possible. You don't necessarily need to always go for huge amounts of value.
When the scores are close, there's always a chance to come back into first place. And getting a 31,000 point first place is just as good as getting a 70,000 point first place in these team battle rules.
Exactly.
Pandora. And if it players that can use central tiles, although it looks like it's actually quite challenging. Tojyo, the dealer, only player with a Dora currently.
Another thing I'm really curious about is how these players are going to react to Yajima right now. The first two discards with a 4 and a 5 of different suits. That really only signals one of two things, but I'm wondering how the other players are going to react to the threat of an outside hand or possibly something more based on honors. We'll see.
Hey, it's very curious also, so far in this game, Yajima has played a couple of somewhat unnatural hands, of course, the Honitsu in East 1, and now this type of outside hand here in East 2. Might sense some sort of a pattern with the, you have to wonder, is he going to play unnaturally all game long?
I think this hand was suited to it, though. Going for an outside hand,
Definitely.
I think yeah.
And particularly when there's such a centralized Dora and so many of your shapes are in the outside, it's very likely that other players will have a much easier time using the Dora than you. So playing for the outside hand also enables you to hold more defensive tiles.
That 7, though, is a huge pull. And there's definitely a world where maybe, if we're lucky, we even pull a 7-8-9 mixable sequence there for that extra 2 hand. Would be a very exciting thing to see. Mixable sequence and a half or possibly fully outside hand.
Santoku and Chanta, or Junchan, hopefully Junchan, completely outside.
In the meantime, though, we do see Takizawa trying to build an Itsu, a pure straight. Needing, I believe, the 3-man, though, which we have just seen one drawn. It's going to be a few awkward shapes to make that actually land. But with the power of calling, we've now got the 6, just need the 3. For, granted, only one hand, but from first place, move the game along to East 3.
It's a shame the North has come out a couple times. So Takizawa, there's a world where if it hadn't, he could have played the 1-3 from his hand and tried to snap up another Han with the Yakuhai call. But since they're both out, he'll just play for the Itsu, the straight.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those hands I never like going for open because it's not really. It's not worth anything, right? Obviously, it's something you can call and definitely something you can try and just win to try and block another player from taking points, but it just never feels good to just win Itsu only.
Yeah, most times it's a bit underwhelming. In this spot, Takizawa is in first, so it at least moves the dealership forward.
That's true.
Suura,
Yajima pulled the 7 to make 7-8-9 in the bamboo, but we have cut the 9 of pins there, so the sand shock is not happening. Which is a bit of a shame, but still 2 away. Or 1 away if we just keep the 2, 3, 4 of bamboo. And I guess that'd be Riichi only, sadly, but any hand is good enough if you're the one who wins it.
Suura, really thinking about this discard. It's awkward because this has to be pairs almost certainly, and yeah, he's not trusting anything near the Dora.
And I think that's very reasonable, honestly, all things considered. We did just see Yajima draw the Dora, speaking of. That has no place in this hand, and unfortunately probably means that we're going to see them fold this one. So it's all down to the other 2 players.
Is there a way back in somehow?
Maybe. We've cut the 4, which makes using that 5 very challenging.
Yeah, basically, the only route I see is to wait on the 5 itself or to pair it up.
Yes. Which is definitely achievable, right? We're 1 away right now. All we have to do to get that Tenpai is to draw the 3 of dots.
And with the players having only scored small hands so far in this game, the fight for template payments might be really important here. Yajima will call something like a 3-pin should it ever show its way, show its face on the board. Oh, hello.
Okay. Now we can call back the 4 if we just want to know Yaku Tenpai. But again, as you're saying, Tenpai payments. So it's all about that 4 of bamboo. Not safe enough to play this late in the game. I see. Understandable.
So despite the loss of efficiency by the 1-so, he's still keeping his options open if a 4-so can clear, and the 7-so just did, so that might be enough to convince Yajima that one could be played.
That's true, yeah. The 1 clears out the potential 2-3 shape, and the 7 clears out the potential 5-6 shape, so... But the 3 of bamboo, very possibly 3-10, but...
Yeah, we'll play the 4
we're
now.
not taking that. Okay. Yeah, we're running out of time at this point, unfortunately. Oh, this is Tenpai. I mean, I'll go see a reach.
Naturally.
Very late reach for Reach Dora 1, waiting on the 3 of characters. Thank you, camera person, for showing where 3 of those are.
Consider the chi here. Did a 6-mon come out earlier from Tojyo?
I don't believe I see one, but yeah, it's an 8, a 5, and it's just an 8 and a 5 from them, I believe. But yes, it's always interesting to see when a player decides to go for just Tenpai only. There's definitely a good time to do it. And sometimes even just calling to deny. Ooh,
That's coming a little too late, though.
This hand's unfortunately.
Should be one more draw. Takizawa will hold the... give up the Yaku. The 6-mon.
There's still a very small chance for Suura to manage to pull this hand back to Tenpai.
Yajima cannot find his way. Takizawa as well bows out. Tojyo, the only player Tenpai, will collect 1,000 points from each of the players. And that is
huge, right?
Yeah, she couldn't have expected much more from that hand with such an awkward 3-mon wait. So forcing the other players off, importantly finding Tenpai, she will get to re-roll as the dealer in second place. Of course, still tight.
Tenpai and 2 positions.
Exactly. It's Tenpai payments somehow always seem to be worth more than you expect.
It definitely adds up. Especially when you've all had those games, right, where you've had no luck, you can't win a hand, but you can get to Tenpai, you just can't win a hand.
And
sometimes you really feel like you earned that Tenpai payment.
Right? You may not be able to win a hand, but sometimes just being Tenpai 2 or 3 times is good enough to get you second.
Yeah, exactly. The very worst, not last. And for Tojyo here, second is what we see.
This is
we've already seen 2 calls here from Yajima.
His spicy pawn play.
One of them is a dragon, of course. They've got a Yaki no matter what happens. But it might just be another sort of go at trying not to get last place, right? With 1 Riichi stick, 1 Honba, 1,100 points on the table. Any hand will get you, I think, at least into second from here. Yeah, exactly. So it's a very low-scoring game, but a very tense game, I think.
I think as long as Yajima is within striking range of first, you'll think he's in a reasonable spot.
Yes, exactly. The usual measuring stick I use is 8,000 points. If I can get to first with 8,000 points, I'm not too uncomfortable, especially in these 2. Pardon me. Was that Tenpai for Tojyo, or was that just Ishan-ten with that 6 of characters draw? Have to check that one again.
Yeah, we'll have to take a peek.
It might be a Dharma Tenpai, because it wasn't worth anything. I think it was just like I think it was literally nothing.
Hard to make value with a 9-so Dora. Now
with Tenpai. So 9-so 5 of my characters.
So that's
There's
Riichi
a 9
2.
right there. But absolutely, potentially 3.
You see 1 9 taken away when still in the wall. It's one of those tiles where if the door was switched, in terms of the tiles in your weight, you have a 5-mon and a 9-so. If the 5-mon was the door and the 9-so was the non-Dora, I'd feel a lot more comfortable taking this Riichi, because you can expect to see a 9-so come out when it's not the Dora. In this instance,
Exactly, yes.
I feel like a lot of times I will wait and try to draw a sequence out of that 5, 5, 6, 7, 8 mon shape. However, that's not necessarily the correct move when you have a player that's open twice.
And sometimes you could force that player to either. When you've called twice, you're usually the sort of forced into a bit of a weird position, because you either got to completely fold, and you might not succeed because you don't have as many tiles in your hand to fold with, or you've got to push everything to try and win before they actually finish taking your points from you. It's awkward.
Certainly, it's classic as the dealer to Riichi with a single Dora, much less 2 Dora.
Yeah.
So I think it's very normal to slam here in any circumstance, but I always get a little greedy when I see the opportunity to improve my weight.
One thing also to keep in mind is we've seen the 2 of characters pass, which rules out a 3-4 shape for this dealer each, making the 5 just a little bit safer.
There's a world where we see an 8-mon come out later, and that could encourage the 5.
They're still, I think, both in the wall to draw, though, so we might just see a sumo. 3 tiles.
Somehow Yajima is drawing back into this hand.
Yajima's pawn was bamboo, right? We're not accidentally making a flush here.
Well, with all those honors, I guess
it was
everything
bamboo.
can be in a flush. There's the 3, another pair.
Okay. Well, 1 away for Yajima.
At this
for
point,
just all triplets, dragon east.
Maybe the safest route is just to win the hand.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes that is it, right? Because the easiest way to defend is to win first. I hate to say it like that because it sounds too easy, but it is. It is that simple.
It is that easy. Just win.
There's one of our 5s. 2 tiles left.
Oh,
wow. But there's a 9.
The best draw.
Did not flip her, but reach Dora 3 with 1 stick and 1 homba if we don't count the reach stick that Ria put in. It's going to be a good day for Team Orfeu.
Riichi with its sumo and Dora 3. Tojyo is going to be collecting quite a few points, hopping into a big lead now.
And more importantly, she continues the dealership. And looking at this hand, I do see a triplet there. I do also see a completed sequence. It's not great, but we got the door as well, which is awkward. Just a single 2 of pins there. This is a much more exciting 2 of pin, because we have that 2-3-4 shape.
A collection of honors. Might be a flush brewing for Takizawa. Great 8
exactly. Especially when you've got Yakuhai, right? Because you're more willing to call. Because if things go wrong, you still can win, even if, as long as you have that. And we are going to see the 8 get played, which I think is fine, actually.
Yeah, the one weakness here is that if we do end up with a flush in the Sozu, we are going to have to drop the tiles in the door suit and our door connecting 3 pin. But a small sacrifice to win the 2-han that Honitsu will give you.
The one thing I'm really excited about right now, though, I believe, is Tojo's hand. 1 away from Tenpai, potential pure sequence, holding 2 of the Dora. Even just reach Dora 2 is still fine in this situation from first place while dealer.
And interestingly, she's got this sort of floating Tenpai where she's hoping to stick something to the floating 4-so or 8 pin. And she chose to keep the 8 pin. Will not take this Tenpai. Just waiting on the 7 pin. Wants to find a better weight. Capitalize on this door too.
I think it's really interesting the way Takizawa is playing this. Just keeping so many individual honors.
And they're pairing up.
But I don't think we're going to go for the big hands with that, but it's definitely an interesting style of playing, right? Because you know it's inefficient to keep that many tiles, but if you're making the flush happen, I guess you can force it. We do see a reach though. 2-5 of bamboo.
Riichi.
That is being contested.
Yeah, door 2.
Yeah, even if you've got no real value in Yaku, if you've got Tudora, especially if you're a dealer, just send it, especially if the weight's good enough. I think even Riichi only, as long as your weight's good enough and your first tempai is still perfectly fine. If we look at the EV calculations.
Yajima draws a useful tile, but I don't know how much he wants to fight here. Problematic for Takizawa is the fact that he's passed up some calls. He passed up the first south call, and also the north he paired up after it became twice cuts. So it's less useful for him unless he's playing for 7 pairs. And for that reason, I believe he's cutting away from that pair of norths.
Yeah, you don't have to force the... You don't have to completely fall from here, but 2 turns of safety just to really just think maybe the next 2 draws are really good and I can still keep an attack going. Like Suura right now, 1 away.
Finding a way to play the hand.
Yeah. We are seeing some defense though. And I think that's okay. From second place, I think that's a decent way of playing, right? You don't need to necessarily be too aggressive, especially when the dealers in reach. The best case scenario for Takizawa would be one of the other 2 dealing in, and that would just help them secure that second place even more. Because points don't matter, position matters. It's always really interesting to see.
Certainly, if you were close to Teppa, you might like to take this fight against Toru, who is defenseless in Riichi, and maybe get a direct hit to exchange positions, but the gap is just a little bit too far away in terms of speed to tempai.
Okay, there's one of our 2-5. I'm going to do a bit of a count. See what 2 of bamboo here.
I'm going to do a count and see how many points Suda's hand is going to be worth if Itsumo's here for San Anko. San Anko, potentially Yakuha as well.
It's always fun to go for 3 skill triplets. I swear, it never works for me, but it's always fun. But yeah, I think there's time, right? We see 3 of the 2s and 2 of the 5s, meaning only 3 tiles left for Tojo's reach. 3 tiles was more than good enough the last time, but...
Somehow Yajima keeps drawing tiles that put him close to tempai, but he has to jam that form on it. That is not a safe-looking tile.
Yeah, exactly.
Triso clears. Hatsu, that's one of the deal-in tiles, and that's Shonpai, so Yajima will play a different direction. Takizawa holding the other green dragon. Timon goes through a lot of tension right now in this particular round.
Yeah, I do see this ending an exhaustive draw, though.
Oh, there's a 5.
Oh, but no, I'm wrong. Commentator's curse, I'm sorry.
And the Una as well.
And the flippin' Iridora. Oh no, I'm so sorry. You're even worse.
That is going to be the dealer Mangan Riichi, door 2, Una 1, plus the Riichi sticks, plus the 2 Honma. And Tojyo is in commanding lead, might be in control mode now. Just confirm this all the way to the end. Suda, though, will have a lot of work to do. Needs to find some points for his team.
Yeah, this is disastrous, unfortunately, for Alban. They need a win right now, more than ever before. I guess they can still keep their lead if the team in dead last also takes a 4th, but that's not something you want to be relying on this late into the event. Oh no. But it's also perfect news for Takizawa, right? Them choosing to just stay out of the fight has now meant that they've pretty much maybe not confirmed, but it's going to be a lot easier for them to at least get 1 point out of this game. Probably going to be able to get 2 points.
Absolutely. And it's still just these two, so although it looks
that's very
like
true.
Tojo's lead is untouchable, Takizawa still has a dealership to go. He could find himself picking up 12,000 point chunks.
Exactly, yes.
Well, this hand doesn't look so appealing for him. Tojo, on the other
No.
hand, absolutely brilliant set of tiles. 3 discards in.
Yeah, Suura has the upshot of maybe getting Itsu there, but needing some very specific draws to make it happen. I like the fact that you're keeping the option open, though, at least to welcome it in if you get lucky enough to draw those 3 specific tiles that we need to draw.
Tojo
But yeah.
2 tiles away from Tenpai with too many diamond shapes. She definitely wants 6, 7, 8 Sanchoku, and so maybe you're looking to pair up 2 pin or the 3-4 so.
Yeah, this really does feel like Tojo's hand, but with that 4 bamboo, it's a nice draw. Obviously, Suura needs more than just reach only, though.
Suda has some interesting value propositions, but they're going to involve sacrificing the other, one of your options. You can't go for it all. In this case, he has
Yes.
Itsu potential, Namanzu, or the door acceptance of the bad shape 8-9 pin. And fills the door shape, so that will make his play clear. He'll take the Riichi.
Why not? Yeah, reach draw 1 is still pretty good. We need the 8 of characters to make that happen. Just doing a bit of a skim. I think we only see the 1 of the 8 characters right here in Tojo's hand, which means there's 3 left.
Not so good to cut the 4 pin here, but it is the worst tile in the hand. She'll just play safe with the 8 so. It feels sad to do that when you had a chance at 6 and 8 Sanchoku, but Tojo understands that she already has a commanding lead, and she might be forced to fight in the future, but she doesn't need to fight with value. She just needs to fight to end the threat. It's more of a defensive push. So
Yes.
you don't need to force the value of the hand. If you are behind in that situation or in somewhat of a neutral standing, she draws 1 step closer and will jam the 7 so. Sometimes you'll say, I don't want to push unless I have the value worth fighting for. But that's not her position here. She doesn't want to push unless that gives her the best chance at a positive result.
Yeah, I think there is such a thing as being too passive, but like from this position, yeah, exactly. There is no reason to super attack. There's still a chance if the 4 of dots becomes safe down the line, you can still sneak at least some points out of this hand. But we have to see at least something to prove that it's safe before we take that risk.
This door
But
draw.
a door being drawn.
Okay, hear me out. Somehow we find a way to go 8 mon, 7 mon. Use the 6 mon as the pair.
Okay.
And then,
I like what you're saying.
and then draw 3
also,
pin, cut the 6 pin for 2, 3, 4 Sanchoku.
what we ended up seeing was the 6 man getting played, which means we don't have a pair anymore, but we can pair up the Dora now. And I think if Tojo did pair up the Dora, we're going to see that 4 of dots get played.
Yes. At some point, you start to wonder just how good is this Riichi, the quality of the weight, and now it's super efficient. Well, she's already cut
had we
the
kept
6
6.
mon, so she might just follow cut the 6 mon, or the
I think
9
that's
as well.
fine. Yeah. You see a 4, but not the 4 that opens the gate.
Yajima, no need to play into this Riichi. He is in 3rd, and it's a 4th place Riichi, so definitely would be disastrous for him to deal in. Continues to play safely here. The 6 mon cut.
Yeah, the Yajima is pretty interesting, right? Because you want to make sure you get that first place position. You've got that 4-point lead. So a score of +1 at the end of this is still pretty good, but you definitely don't want to give up any chance of getting second.
Of
Scoring
course,
2 points.
you've got your eye on the teams that are closest to you in the standings. You want to keep track of how well they're doing. And if you're playing against one of their players, you can sort of estimate how many points they're collecting compared to your own.
I think you might end up seeing your strategy eventually come into play. We did see the second 6 get played, with a pair of the 8 and the 7 being Suji safe. With it being hard safe now, we might see an aggressive attack, waiting on the 5 of pins. But it might also just be a little bit too late at this point.
Yeah, running out of draws at this point.
Can you see anyone sneaking to Tenpai? Can't call the 4.
Tojyo considers the call here because Suura, as the south player with no calls on the board, will have the last draw. At the same time, if she calls this, she knows she won't be Tenpai. And she takes her draw. Does hit Tenpai.
Draw, gets
will not
there.
take it.
No,
not willing to jam the 3 so, and
unsafe.
not an 8-mon.
So, 1 player Tenpai, 3,000 points, effectively 4,000 because everyone else is losing 1,000.
Although you have to consider the Riichi stick still left on the table that has some EV to it, but Suura collecting there.
I just assume I'm going to win it back, you know.
Exactly, and certainly from his position, he has to assume this is my dealership. I'm going to win a hand here because if I don't win a hand here, I'm in a really rough spot.
Exactly. It's a pretty exciting pot though. 4 repeat counters, 1 Riichi stick, 1,200 points. So 2,200 points to whoever wins this one. In addition to their own hand value.
Northwind.
It's one of these things where it always sounds. Sorry, go on.
No, you were going to say?
It's one of these things where it always sounds sort of like nothing. It's just 2,200 points, but
just like the
those
payments, right? The Tenpai payments, those add up.
Exactly.
Early south call here from Yajima. That is his Yakuhai. He has door repair as well, and potential other ways to get into bonus value as well.
It's just so saying exactly 2,200 points. Even if you just get south only, it's still gonna add up exactly.
Another pair, maybe.
And with a pair there,
Toy with door 2.
Yeah, all triplets is something I've tried to win all triplets against the pros, playing things like Roddle, and it's one of those things. It's like you get hard counted quite quickly the second you try and do something like that. I've noticed when we play against pros, it's fun though.
Yeah, it feels like
and
Toy triples is quite a rare Yaku. It's just not fast enough most of the time. And at some point, players understand the types of tiles you're going to be waiting on if you're going for a triplets hand. They're likely to be tiles that you wouldn't think other players would discard, and then they don't discard it because they think you need them.
Exactly, yeah. It's very easy to defend against a triplets-based hand. Either discard things you already see pairs of, or just assume that they're doing something weird, like trying to angle the weights onto a 9 or something like that. Eventually sort of get a feel for the kind of things people might be willing to do.
Dora held by Takizawa, but the 6-0 that was discarded in its stead still gets called. Shoten now.
Yes. Oh. Also, I should probably mention, Yajima, I was talking about how the points in the pot were quite exciting, but Yajima's got Dora too. So even without the points in the pot, this hand is incredible.
We'll see if Takizawa is forced to cut the north at any time. He is Shoten with maybe a slim chance at 5-6-7 Sanchoku should the pair swap around.
Yeah, calling the north wouldn't be Tenpai just yet, but it would be a very scary position were it to ever come out. And that is Tenpai waiting on 1 and 4 of characters. There's a 1, and it comes out! Oh no! So, South Dora 2. I believe the other call was in Bamboo, so it's not a half lush. But still, 3 hand.
And beneficiary of some bonus food as well, that 9 Onko. So, a big total here for Yajima. Not only the 52, but also or 64 rather, also the Honba. I guess
And
it's
the other big
52
thing
plus 1200 plus 1000.
Yes.
Wow,
Those
what is
points go
this?
directly from second place. What? Yeah, hang on, huh?
That was the hand before the last two tiles were drawn. I was looking forward to seeing some more honors and pin tiles.
I mean, we don't need to see honors in that hand. I'm fine with just seeing pin tiles. I think a full flush is probably nice. Wow, it's rare
Even
you get hands that good.
even having drawn a pair of Sosu to sort of not adding any flush draws to the hand, you still have so many Dora in the hand and just tiles in the Dora suit.
Yes.
Right from Hypai. Yajima, definitely a big opportunity here.
I wouldn't say Takizawa and Suura's hands are that bad. I think they got decent starts, which is honestly a bad thing in this situation because it's just going to make them want to push a little bit more into this. Oh gosh.
And Yajima drew a connector, a block, and another suit. So he's just playing maximal efficiency here. Just I don't need Honi to door 3. I just need to win the door 3 hand and get my second place. And maybe
Exactly.
that's a starting point for something bigger. Or somehow we end up with Chinitsu.
We could just keep drawing pin tiles. It's fine.
We are an 8-pin draw away from being Tempai with a very easy switch to Chinitsu.
The 8-pin has come out from Takizawa's hand, so one less them out there, but
Supin? That's gotta be a switch.
We can keep it for now though. Yeah, absolutely. Too much value to not take that switch.
Interesting here from Toru. Chance at 7 pairs, but also flush ideas. We'll start with the East.
I like the hedge there. I tend to get very paranoid about shapes like that. When I've got a really good shape in a potential flush hand, I don't like getting rid of it.
Yeah, I don't think Tojo is necessarily thinking about the flush given her position. She just wants to make sure that second place dealership ends. Oh my goodness.
Oh my. It's not Tenpai, but it's it's very, very good.
We can see
could pawn that for Tenpai, but it would be a really bad way. Okay, another dragon pair.
We see
Tenpai's got like decent hands. They're not great, but it's decent.
So this could be called.
Yeah.
And now what do you want to wait on?
It would be 6-9? Yeah, okay.
6-9 pin, not amazing. But the 9 pin's okay weight, and you can switch the weight.
Exactly, a lot of wiggle room. The last 6 is right here, so obviously there are no 6s to draw. But yeah, I used to say the 9 pin is out there.
Keep in mind, we're looking at Shinitsu Dora 3, dealer by month.
Yes.
That is.
Is there anything about their hand that make? Oh. See, that's the interesting thing, right? As well, right?
9 pin from Tojyo. That's going to be a direct deal in and a sudden reversal of fortunes.
But just look at that. Look at their discard pool, right?
How
you see two honor tiles in the first 3 discards. That is not the discard pool of a typical flush. Seeing 2 honor tiles in the first 3 discards.
Absolutely
so,
not.
Even with the call of 2-pin, you might have been convinced to think it's just like all simples or something like that. Maybe all simples with Dora. But no, it was so big.
Yeah, there was the 5-mon, 3-mon cut that might make you a little suspicious. And wow, starting off with a triplet of Red Dragon and 3 diamond shapes, as well as a Yonake as well, 4-tile shape. What is? I would like to get these Hypai. I need this in my Roddle games.
Yeah, Team TT Shooter showing us how it's done. Wow.
This is how you get to the top.
Yeah.
Whoa. Hang on a second. This is also quite intriguing with 2 Dora. Suura might have something to say about this.
Be angling more towards 7 pairs than say anything really exciting, but 7 pairs Dora 2 is still very, 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 very nice. least that's what I'd be thinking. I'd be thinking 7 pairs. Yeah, okay, we're gonna keep along that plan for a bit. I'd always like the cutting of the East as the first discard, though. Trying to hide the fact that I don't really want honors.
Believe
It
me, I'm
worked
a
for
normal hand.
Yajima. Yeah, it worked for Yajima, so
Okay, a strengthened shape here. What is the cut? Maybe you're overblocked and you trust. Okay, just confirm a pair.
yeah, I guess. That's interesting, yeah.
I guess we're not actually overblocked. We've got diamond, diamond, but how you treat that foretell shape is going to be interesting as well.
Mm. That's interesting. If I was going 7 pairs, I might have considered keeping the once cut terminal. But that's not what we've seen. Maybe 7 pairs isn't the actual goal here. I'm really curious to see where this hand with 2 Dora ends up. Okay, we're just gonna open up for Dora. Lots. That's fine.
Ah, tempai. Each.
3/6 Bambi does it.
This is classic show strength from the dealer in first place by a large margin.
Exactly, yeah. And your dealer and your first Tempai, you've got to take advantage of that.
Good
That
weight.
momentum, right?
Almost got baited by the
And
9
from my
so 6
count,
as well.
I think we only see we see 2 of the 3s. So there's still 6 tiles left for this reach.
Really? There's no 6 so held?
We haven't seen a single 6 so, based on my little glance. So we could see a very quick self draw here.
Yajima in good position to extend this lead. And a lot of pressure on Suura with the door pair to try to counter, especially from 4th place. This is Tenpai. Yeah, we'll play the floaters instead. Floating a 3-so and an 8-so. Try to connect that for an actually good weight instead of a tonki.
On the plus side, yeah, I'm glad they didn't play the 3-so, otherwise this hand would be over. Choosing to fold.
Takizawa doesn't want to drop into last here.
Yeah, it makes sense, honestly, especially if Tojyo is the one who deals in here. It probably isn't going to happen, but you never know after the last hand.
Starting to wonder if there are any 6-0 in this game. This particular hand.
We actually shuffled them out of the wall.
Tojyo has one. Oh, door 3 now. All right, you have to fight it out, right?
Yeah,
I don't think you can stop yourself.
Especially from Suura's position, being in last place, you have to take the chance when the chance comes, even if it doesn't feel like a good chance. If it's a chance.
Oh, 7-pin? You could take the Yaman or the Shabo. Goes Shabo.
Okay. Do you see the 1-pin has been cut once already? 4-man, I think, might be live, but with that reach on the table, it's going to be very unlikely. It's very unlikely to be seen discarded by anybody. Okay, yeah, we see 3 of them here. Wait, that's a sumo! We don't just see 3 of them. That's the one they needed. It's the player.
Put it right next to his other tiles in the hand. And it looks like it's just a standard draw, but it is a Mangan draw for Suura.
This game has been a roller coaster. Suura managing to get Alban out of last place and into a good position to fight second.
Yajima will eat the Oyakamini if they leave him at the table. You want a Mangan. We're out.
Yeah, sorry. We're done.
This isn't fair.
There is no time limit on this format though, unlike the other league we cast. So I think I assume people are out to go get a break at the end of each round.
Yeah, I think we've seen this before in some of the previous rounds. And well, this puts Suura into 3rd place. Now Takizawa under pressure. He will see his dealership coming soon in the South round. And Suura has more to play for. Tojyo in striking distance for second. So Team Alban could be picking up 2 points maybe. And of course, with a dealership, you never know what's going to happen. The Japanese commentators having some fun with this.
This has been a wild game so far.
Yeah, trying to recap what's happened so far. Takizawa got off to the early lead with a dealer win, but Tojyo came back on her dealership. A couple Mongon bops, and she found herself in the lead.
Yeah, the lead felt sort of almost undefeatable, but in a single hand, Yajima took all of those points away.
Yajima opened up. We knew it was going to be an incredible hand from the get-go. Started with a triplet of the Dora, a completed sequence in the lower portion of the Dora suit, and a smattering of other tiles. It was 1, 2, 3 pin, 6, 6, 6 pin, 7, 9 pin, maybe even 7, 7, 9 pin.
Yeah, I think Yajima's decision very early on to only commit to a full flush instead of taking a half flush might have been part of the reason why Tojyo dealt it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
If the cuts went 5 mon, 3 mon, 1 so, west, east, and you make the pull and you get your tempai, definitely you are never cutting a 9 mon in that situation. But because, as you said, it went west, 1 so, east, honor tile, then 3 mon, and then 5 mon, and then pull and cut 2 pin. It disguises it a lot. Like maybe you suspect that the dealer's tempai with door pair, Tanyao door 2, something along those lines, but you don't necessarily believe that they are Chinitsu tempai.
yeah, it goes from I think they're doing this to I think there's a small chance they're doing this.
Right.
Which is just what you need when you've got a 24,000 point hand.
And yeah, even if it was something like Chinitsu Dora 2, okay, 12,000 points. If it was, Chinitsu Dora 1, 18,000 points. Chinitsu Dora 3, 24,000 points is not really on your radar. So Yajima.
Takizawa, though, opening up with 2 Dora.
That's the dealer too.
I think it's interesting we see the one-man pair get cut early on over the honor tiles. I think that's interesting. I would maybe this is a flaw in my own play, but I would definitely be considering just I don't mind tripling up something. I don't mind just reaching. I've got Dora 2. I guess we've got 3 pairs, so there's definitely an argument for maybe not wanting to have 3 pairs in the hand, but at the same time, I would be keeping that over an honor tile on its own.
You know what? I think you're right with your focus on the number of pairs, and he's keeping the extra 1 mon as a connector to the 3, 4, 5 shape, saying if I draw the 2 mon, then I can play a sequence. So I'm not necessarily losing that much by cutting a single 1 mon. If I cut the second 1 mon, then I might be losing something.
Yeah, the first 1 mon was played before we drew the 6th mon.
Yes.
But yes, it definitely has paid off in a big way. Really interesting shape. 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
Mm-hmm.
Technically 2-sided.
It's like a Nyankan. It doesn't look like one.
Yes.
Nyankan with a sequence in the middle. You've got a acceptance of the 2 and 7 mon.
We're going to keep that over the 2 of bamboo there, of course. Yep.
They're kind of similar tiles, but the 1 and 8 mon are giving you tempai if you fill in the gap, and tempai we have. Look at this Tsuchi trap as well. That early 6 pin.
That's very true. Yeah. Of course, the 9 is Dora, so we have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, this is similar to the Riichi that we saw from Tojyo earlier, but she tsumoed the Dora 9. 9 so in that hand. Both of the 9 pin held. We see 1 in Suira's hand and 1 in the hand of Yajima. But West?
Yeah, I was thinking this has definitely been a day of seeing a lot of players attempt to build Itsu, which I think is one of those rare Yaku that has a tendency to backfire more often than not. But Yajima had that chance, and it's still kind of there, but we don't have a pair right now. So we're going to end up cutting the bad shape, just try and get as efficient as possible.
Oh.
While not dealing
This is Chitoi Tempai.
It is.
But this is last place dealer Riichi. Does Tojyo take the challenge here? 8 mon push. 8 so rather
taking
push.
Tempai, but not choosing to reach. Keeping an option to bail if we need to. I say we do know the 8th pin is the door indicator. I think we see one
Oh, she
elsewhere.
finds the sumo.
There it is. There was only one left to draw.
Incredible. That will shut down Takizawa's big chance at the comeback. He surely thought that we would have seen a West before that last copy of the 8 pin, but Tojyo will snipe it away. Chitoi Tsumo.
I think that was correct there, just because there were so few of the 8 pins out there, and maybe it was going to be a smart move to sort of the way out. But imagine if we got the Ipatsu.
Right? Riichi Patsu Tsumo Chitoi. Flip Uratu for a Baimon back into a chance at first. Would have been incredible.
As it stands, though, Tojyo managing to keep a nice gap between everyone and second place. I was talking about how the gap I like is 8,000 points, or 10,000 points for an 8,000 sumo. Not quite there between Tojyo and Yajima yet, but could definitely get to that position before Southpaw.
You mentioned, the chance to Ipatsu. I wonder how much that lingers in the head of a pro. For a long time, as an amateur player, I would draw that, I would dama a lot of my hands because I didn't think my weight was good enough, and then get the tsumo and think, oh man, I really should have Riichi that. And then the next hand would be like, well, what would my value have been if I Riichi that? Was that really the correct spot to dama? Maybe I should have spent longer thinking about the Riichi there, so on and so forth. And it really distracts you from the play, the plays that you're making the next hand. You really have to be good at letting those things slide off and focus solely on what happens in the next round. You'll have a chance to review the game later.
Yeah, I've definitely been that person before. But the problem is that when you let that get to you, you sometimes reach when you shouldn't, and then you've gone the wrong way, too far in the other direction. Oh, a bit of a backfire, unfortunately. We did see Tojyo committing towards a all symbols hand, all inside hand, by cutting the 1. But we would have been 1 away from that pure straight had we kept the 1 and knew we were going to draw the 9. You just don't know.
I see.
Just don't know. But there was definitely a world where maybe we had 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, do we 2-man 4-man here for the 6, 7, 8 Sanchoku?
I believe so.
Yeah.
The 4 first? Absolutely.
Here's the
Unfortunately.
problem.
Yes.
It's okay. She drew the last 8 pin. Maybe she can draw the last
That's
8,
true.
so rather 7. So
You can say all you like about one tile.
she
weight,
does.
but
She does
so the
draw
match
the
is
last
you-
7. So
You only need 1. So reach, Pinfu, all simples, and if we get lucky, that mixture sequence. What a huge hand for the dealer here.
Sida Tepai will immediately chase on the 8 pin, cutting the 8 pin. 2-5 still the weight.
There's a 2, and it's not usable.
Was that
But I
Tempai for
think this is
Yajima?
Yajima
I
fault.
might have missed his Tempai. I think he was on 3-6 pin. Oh, but Tojyo will once again hit Suda back down.
I see it's a Manzu. I didn't see which Manzu. Did we flip her for Tojyo?
I missed it as well, but it will be the Mangon.
Well, we have a battle for first place here, and oh no, Team Alban!
It's every single time Tojyo and Suda have a Riichi battle. Tojyo comes out on top, and it's for dealer Mangon as well.
Still, it's going to be a very interesting South 2-4 with the 2 separate battles for third and for first. And just because Alban and Suura are in last place right now, they still got a dealership left. Anything can happen. You've got a dealership remaining.
Yeah, there's a lot of small things that this current point situation affects. First of all, Yajima wants 3 points for first for his team, but 2 points for second, also very good. And I think he can feel very comfortable moving to the remaining portion of this game that he won't get any less than 2 points. Some crazy Yakuman hand happens. And for Tojyo, if she can find the 3 points for first place and snipe it for her team, she would also like to hit Takizawa down to last place so that his team is getting 0 points, and then her team will be within 1 point of overtaking.
And speaking of, Tojyo's hands is incredibly fast. Not incredibly valuable, but 1 away for Pinfu. believe we have that perfectly Shoten already, only after 3 draws. So we could see a very, very fast reach here. I'm kind of excited about Takizawa's maybe thinking about going for a 1-3 mixable sequence, but I do think we're probably going to be getting one of those terminal sort of sequence shapes by the end of this hand.
Yajima's an interesting spot where the white dragon has come out once already. If he wants to call that for Yokohai, he will have to pull in the second one. He also might not want to pull in the second one. That's how much unfound.
Doesn't quite help, fortunately.
That's
okay.
Tenpai.
That is Tenpai.
It's not the Pinshu you're looking for, but you do the bonus fu
so many different ways.
Sumo of the three mon.
Yeah, so many tiles got to a Pinshu Tenpai there, but we drew the one that didn't. But that's absolutely fine. Just
Suda,
being first Tenpai.
Suda hits Tenpai and says, "You know what? Every single time I've chased Tojyo as the dealer, I have dealt into 12,000 points. So I'm going to do something different this time."
I think the important thing, though, is just to keep in mind that there is no real penalty for a really bad fourth, right?
That's
I
right.
guess actually there is. They were tied, and Alban was second from last only because of the individual score being the tiebreaker.
You know what? That's a really good point. All throughout the season, we've been talking about the tiebreak points as if they didn't really matter, but we're at the point of the season where it's actually coming to head, right? This is where those points will actually determine placement potentially.
Like 15th has 34 points with 101.5. 16th has 34 points with minus 170. So in-game score is the only thing separating the two players right now. And if Alban takes a fourth, he might. We'll see. We'll see. It might be the player who takes the worst fourth is the one who ends up in last.
Actually, not many options here, but continues to find safety. It's funny. Sorry for Suda there. Yajima did draw the third copy of the White Dragon into Tenpai on the 6 mon, but I imagine he will fold out if he draws something he doesn't like. Forso still safe.
Okay, I've done a little sweep. It looks like there are 5 tiles for Tojyo to win on.
That's
I
quite
believe there's
promising.
1, 3, and all 4 of the 6s. And once again, 6 man just hasn't shown up today.
I believe Takizawa has a 6 mon.
Did I miscount? Oh, I did. Okay. In that case.
So,
and so this was a discard one too.
Yeah, discarded one as well.
Okay, so only 3 tiles.
That sounds a bit more on average. You know, you expect this late. No more than 3.
Yeah, exactly.
If there are more than 3 at this point, you're wondering if they're all in the dead wall. Why haven't you seen them?
Yeah, why haven't I drawn anything? What's going on? But with this reach, we might just see another repeat in Sao 2, with no one taking the win this time.
Unless somehow Yajima can snipe it away.
So that is a useful draw if we were able to attack, but not this time.
And I have to appreciate like how Suda started with some cuts that really looked like hard folding, but as he continued to draw useful tiles, he hung around a little bit, looking for an excuse to play for a K10, but just hasn't been given the tiles necessary.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Yajima back into Tenpai.
That's Tenpai. I haven't done a count of. Oh, it doesn't matter because Tojyo manages to pull the win.
Cheap side.
Does not flip Rodora.
But that still works. 1,000 all becomes 1,100. And she will.
That's enough to take first.
By just over 2,000 points, close to 3,000. Still her repeat 2 and 2 more dealerships to get through. Can she extend?
Yeah, this is the worry of no time limit. You might be here forever. The dealer just keeps repeating, keeps scoring points. And you're just sat thinking,
Last time she was around 50,000 points. She
It's true.
lost those to Yajima's huge hand. So this
Could
is
happen again.
She's back up there again. It's just a testament to the power that she's displayed on her dealership.
Yeah, perseverance and efficiency. It's tough. It's tough to play against a player who can just keep reliably getting there before anyone else can. Either way, though, the sound is not quite as exciting as the last few for Tojyo. It's quite possible, but definitely in this rule set we could have the never-ending game. Interestingly enough, it looks like Takizawa is going for something a bit exciting, with the first 2 discards being 8 and 6.
Curious. It was holding.
It's a bit of a long shot, but there's a sort of hedge between maybe going for Kokushi, maybe going for that flush.
The Kokushi is a way to put yourself in hopes of getting a first.
It's just really far.
Yeah, I do suspect that it would be much more likely we end up with a flush. Yajima is the player to the left of Takizawa, so every mon tile he cuts is important. Ooh, which Itsu do you like?
I was wondering whether we would have kept the 9 there as a bit of a hedge, but no, it's just gone immediately. All right, that's fair. The thing about that is that the second you discard that 9, you're giving information away, right? You're basically saying, hey, I don't have this anymore.
Right, the 8 pin came early, and then the 9 pin came late, so you can kind of tell what's going on with that hand.
But I was supposed to say, if the 9 pin didn't get played, we cut like an honor tile or something instead. I don't know. No, I guess either way. Yeah. Anyway, I take it back. Although once again, though, we do see another Itsu attempt from Tojyo. 1 to 9 in the same seat. Such a rare Yaku, and we've seen a lot of players attempt it, but I don't think we've seen anyone actually win with Itsu today. Tojyo only needs the 3 and the 6 to make it happen.
How much does she want this 5? So yeah, just gonna let that go. Of course, it's in the door suit, but it's not really door connector. It's Tsuji to the door itself.
So I do believe that Yajima might have. I don't know if Yajima's tempo or just 1 away right now for all simples potentially pin through. Let's have a quick look at their hand when it comes back around. It is pretty tricky to keep track of the hands. It's true. It's true.
Yeah, and these players are very fast. It is Tempai.
It is Tempai waiting on the 2 and the 5 of Bamboo. 2 of Bamboo, of course, being Dodora.
And of course, also Sanshoku. We know he'll win on the 2.
Looking at the count, I think we see 3 of the weights out already. 2 of the 5's gone, and 1 of the 2's has been discarded already. Which means that, oh wait, and then there's obviously 2 5's there as well. Okay, so yeah, there's 3 tiles out there.
Yeah, Tsumo, Pihu, Sanshoku, Dora, Tanya. Definitely appealing.
We see a cool open Itsu, 1 hand only.
Oh, that's 6.
Senpai.
Is it going to come out ahead of time? It will. The Toru gets to reveal her hand once again to Suura. Itsu only this time, not 12,000 points anymore.
It's always really interesting, right, when you call Itsu, but you have that like 4-5 shape. I've done it before, usually when I've got Dora, because I'm really desperate to win, and I'll take any method that'll happen. But like if the 3 came out, you'd be 3-10. It's a risk. You've always got to sort of balance that out, right? It paid off this time, though.
Certainly. And in her spot, she had planned for the Itsu, but it became more apparent that Takizawa was holding a lot of mon tiles. So at that point, you're kind of desperate to just take any chance you can get, even if it comes with a risk.
Yajima. Yeah, exactly. Also, I think we've seen a call on turn 1. Okay, the White Dragon. Absolutely fair. It's interesting. I guess Takizawa's plan right now is maybe just to try and just stop this dealership and move on. I don't think it's really reasonable for Takizawa to just assume they can score 40,000 points in the next 3 hands. So
You might be
maybe
playing,
switching tactics to
playing for that 1 point and to avoid getting 0.
exactly, yeah, damage control.
But honestly, the best way
1
to do
point.
that seems to be to leave Tojyo on the dealership.
I mean, she's taken a lot of points from Suura, sadly. It's true.
That's not his fault. The hands are just playing out that way.
Mm. Things right now, it looks like Tojo's already got an amazing hand as well. All simples, all inside.
Oh, there's a big draw. Door 2 Tempai.
The 4 of dots does it. And I do believe we see 2 of them. Meaning there are 2 remaining.
Oh, just
and that's it.
find it. Symbol will give extra foo as well.
So, yep, with 3 repeat counters, an extra 900 points for Yajima. And when the scores are this close, that matters. That matters a lot.
1326 becoming 1629. And he will take over the lead once again.
As we move on to Sal 3. What an exciting game this has been.
Yeah, the first place has gone back and forth between Tojyo and Yajima. So I had the lead temporarily at one point in this game before Tojyo took over, and then Yajima, and then Tojyo, and then Yajima again. Suura now with the dealership. This is strong. You could even go 8 pin and 9 pin and just play for the flush.
Doing that. From Suura's perspective, you need the value, right? So just trying to get, even if it seems like a bit of a force, just make it happen. Just manifest that value with the power of your mind.
Strong hand from Yajima, decent from Takizawa as well. Tojyo, maybe a little bit of catch up to do.
So the position, something we've got to keep in mind the rule set of this particular event. Not only do we have the position is what matters for your team score. If you get 0, if you get 4th place, you get 0 points. 3rd place, you score 1. 2nd, you score 2, and 1st, you score 3. So score doesn't matter necessarily as much as position. And for Team Alban, right now they're 2nd from last. So I would be trying to get 3rd. Would be my priority for them right now, because they want to just keep ahead of last place in this qualifier. We're near the end of the qualifier. But yeah, it always depends on sort of what the circumstances you are in, right? Because if you're playing in a tournament, it's different to, say, if you're playing in just a single ranked game. But I would be focusing on just getting a position.
Right. And also, because it's Suura's dealership, he doesn't need to get it all in one go. He could try to win a few hands in a row and sort of climb up. Tojyo, that's how she got her lead, is winning a few hands in a row as the dealer. Suura can hope to do the same as well. But certainly it makes it easier if the hands that you're winning are larger hands. Or, Yakuman, as you say.
Yeah, this is a Hanchan. We are in South 3 right now. We have 1 more game today and then 3 more games tomorrow, and that'll be the end of. So right now, for Alban at least, they're in a really awkward situation. The 2nd to last. Only last place gets kicked out of the event right now, but the higher position you is, the better you'll be in the next round. But they are joint sort of. They're only 2nd from last on a tiebreaker, so they need to score points for their team. But yeah, definitely it's one of these situations where in this particular format you just want a position. But at the same time, once you get to 3rd place, there's nothing saying you can't then aim for 2nd, right?
Yeah, some really interesting decisions now to be made all across the board. When we get to Tojyo's hand, we're going to see a Chitoi Ishanten with potential alternatives. She already slimmed down the 8 pin, and now here's that 5 pin draw that's so nice. Will she cut the Dora? If you aim for Chitoi, you really want to use the Dora in your hand. It's a little inefficient to play that way.
I guess if you're really hedgy, you could cut 2 of Babu to the 2 You could do that. And then maybe consider cutting the Dora if you get the flush.
I think
instead.
Yeah, the 5
no,
pin.
we're just gonna play Dora.
5 mon makes sense. Now, that's going to be instantly called by Yajima, who has a long road to go for Nathanael, but he's now threatening with the Dora 3, and we'll see if that stalls out any of the other players.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be for Yajima, especially when you see the player you're worried about cut Dora, it's usually a warning sign, right? You've got to be thinking that you're getting, if not already ready to win. Because otherwise, why would they be taking the risk on playing the Dora, right? So calling speed up your hand is just to really stop that win from coming in when you really want to get your first place. Exactly, yes. 7 pairs is definitely doable.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There are a couple 7 pairs options here. I'm not sure if Suda wants to play all the way for a flush, even.
If I was Suura, I would be greedy, but I know you don't need to because it's technically your dealership and you can keep going, but I would be wanting to squeeze every single point I can.
We're getting into row 2. I think if he gets a tempai, he'll just take it.
Yeah.
But if he draws something like, maybe gets a chance at like a 5 so or 7 so pull, I think he'll make the pull and cut the 3-pin pair. If he draws 2 so or 3 so, I think he'll just take his tempai, and if he gets the chance to call, I think he'll go for the flush. I'm really curious to see what actually happens, though. I hope he draws something useful.
Yeah, Nathanael not good enough.
Yajima has made some progress towards a tempai, Shoten. Pairs for Takizawa.
Pair? Yeah, Takizawa, we don't talk about Takizawa that much, this particular hand. It's sort of awkward for them, because obviously they just probably are mostly trying to secure their third, right, for that 1 point for the team, but it's tough. Yeah. The draws haven't come in, really.
Interestingly, that Chuso cut from Tojyo was an opportunity for Suda to cheat using the 1 and 3 so. He declined that opportunity, though.
Well, this is tempai, unless we go for the flush.
And what is the choice? Is it greed this late?
I think I'd be greedy, but I know this is where I make mistakes. This this moment here.
I won't complain about greed. He's hovering that 3-pin. This is really close. He really wants the 3-pin, though. He'll make the play. We're going for it all.
Suura. I'm cheering for you. Good luck. Yeah, this is exactly the moment where in a game where if I'm having a bit of bad luck, this is where I start making mistakes. Things start going really wrong.
This is where this could go really wrong. If he cannot find a tempai, and he loses his dealership, then all of that hope is lost. The 7 so will come out.
That's a point, though. That's going to get called. Surely it's going to get pawned. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
And tempai found on the Sanzo.
I got scared for a second there.
3 so wait for Chinitsu. See 2 in this hand. Tojyo also holding 1, so none left in the wall. Oh, tempai found, and she can slam a couple different ways. We'll take 3-sided. Or no, take the shabo. Take the shabo for value. Going for the hatsu.
I mean, Tojyo doesn't need too much value. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, the 3-sided actually really weak because the 9 pins come out 3 times already. The 3-pin a number of times. So yeah, the shabo's actually stronger here. Seven will go through. Yajima drawing dead here. Needs to swap the weight somehow. Can pull 2 so or 1 so.
Really interesting. Chance for Yajima, but just awkward when you got that many there it is.
Tojyo finds the Tsumo on the expensive side as well. No Ura. Reach Tsumo Hatsu.
Worst case scenario for Suura. Worst case scenario for Yajima too.
Yeah, this is Tojyo claiming the lead again.
Interesting southpaw.
800 points.
800 points.
Oh my goodness. This is not to say that Suda would have been able to win that hand if he'd gone the Chitoi route, because he'd be tonki swapping until he found something useful. I'm not sure he would have found a win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yajima, though, it comes down to this hand, and you know what? This isn't the worst result if he gets a second here, but he'd really, really like another point for his team. Now, if Yajima wins the hand and jumps into first place, the game does not end. I know in a lot of online mahjong, you see the game end when the final dealer is in the lead after the hand ends, but we will keep
Yep.
playing
Yes.
until the dealership passes.
I think it's fair that way. Everyone gets 2 full dealerships, and both the benefits and the drawbacks of each. Because
Takizawa,
sometimes when you're in the lead, but only by a little bit, it's really bad. But sometimes when you're in the lead and points matter, you can just keep scoring more. Points don't matter in this rule set, though. It's just position.
play here, very straightforward for all the players. Yajima trying to find the fastest tempai that he can, because Tojyo has already opened her hand. Takizawa a strong position to confirm third place, and Suura is going for something a little outside, something a little crazy. Needs something
Yeah, Suura
big.
gets value. Like, even a Mongun Sumo is not enough. So, I guess a Mongun Sumo and someone else reaching to get their Riichi stick? That's an ask, and that would only tie. Hmm. I actually prefer those rules, though. Like, everyone getting 2 full dealerships, because you can, like, I think it's too powerful to be able to say, you know what, I'm in the lead. The game's over.
Oh, you want to come back? Sorry, I decided I want to go home. Door cut here.
Takizawa, I think, currently is 1 away from Tepai already, and Takizawa's not going to go for value. They place, so being 1 away, even with a cheap hand, is still very, very good. They need that green dragon, though, really. But if someone does play it, I will absolutely call it in their position.
Tojyo sacrifices the door because she doesn't need it. She just needs to win the hand. Similarly, we have Yajima Tenpai, 7-so for Mon. And Takizawa does have to be a little bit careful here. It's okay if he deals into Tojyo. It's not okay if he deals into Yajima. And Tojyo will be the one to find Tenpai and deal into Yajima, so that's a direct hit.
The game's not over, but the position of first place has changed once again.
We keep seeing that bounce back and forth. Now, if Tojyo claims the lead once again, the game will end as the dealership will be passing.
Do we see the 3-player tournaments these days, I assume? The high variance makes things more fun. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, we did have a team league.
Yeah, the
believe
World
6 months ago,
Riichi
hosted.
Online Team League Sanma edition happened fairly recently, and it was very fun.
It was very fun. The current season for that is 4-player, though. It is currently active. I've played 17 games, and my score is around about 0. But we'll get there.
There are some Sanma tournaments, some that even get some online coverage. I know I'm going to a tournament in Texas soon. It's a 4-player tournament, but there's going to be a side event on one of the days.
That's
That
awesome.
is a mini Sanma tournament with Zon League rules.
I need to get back in the loop for just like random online tournaments. It's been a while since I've taken part in any, other than the ones I host and the ones WRC has hosted.
Right?
I need to get back in the loop. I need to figure out when they're happening and try and get involved, because they're always fun. Even if it's like a 1-day exhibition thing, it's still really fun. But here we are in South 4. Let's talk about what's going on, because it's still the same kind of situation here, but Yajima now has that slight advantage.
Maybe slight advantage in numbers, but this hand is not in his favor.
Hang on, though. You should probably answer that. Where in Texas? Tell us about the other tournament. Go for it.
Texas, pretty close to Dallas, just outside the Dallas area. But I know there's a couple of mahjong groups in Dallas. If you're in that area, I can encourage you to check out the American Riichi Association, which has a collection of all sorts of clubs in the U.S. They will have profiles on the website.
Awesome. So looking at the current hand right now, Takizawa's going for potentially a 2-4 mixture sequence. I don't think Takizawa needs to make that happen necessarily, but there's a chance for a little bit of extra value.
Yeah, at this point, value is not really the concern. You just want to make sure that Suura cannot catch you.
Yeah, speaking of Suura, I wish I could say they've got a really good hand, but just haven't. I don't see it. But yeah, in this situation, Yajima could theoretically just sort of fold out here and just relax. But that would give Tojyo just a chance to try and win a hand. It's one of those situations where it's really tough to know what to do as dealer, right? When you're in a situation where you've got a gap of more than 4,000 points, you know you can just be no 10, the game will end. And as long as the game gets to no 10 to the end without someone winning, you can keep that first place. But you still want to try and score a few points if you can, just because more points is always better. But I like what Yajima's doing, right? Keeping the outside hand option open, but also keeping a lot of tiles that are near the outside, having all those, like keeping a lot of safer on average tiles, so that if things do go wrong, you have that escape route.
Yeah, this gap is large enough that he can escape some tsumos, but just not all. And Tojyo was really excited at some of the draws that she was getting a chance to make a hand worth enough to tsumo. And oh, but there's the Dora. Huge draw now.
Yeah, Tojyo one away.
An incredibly
Definitely,
wide one away.
More than enough value if she manages to pull the win to take back first place once again in this tug of war we've seen between two incredible players. Yeah, Yajima's just giving up, I think, quite early on. I think we see cutting the north from the pair there. The intent's quite clear. We're folding this hand, hopefully getting to the end of the hand without anyone winning and keeping our first place. This is Tenpai for Suura, but it's been Tenpai for a while, but just not quite there. That's all simples for an extra one hand, but all simples Dora 1 is not enough to change the situation, sadly.
Needs some like Riichi Tsumo Tanya Dora Uda the Hanuman. Tojyo is so wide here. Anything 4 mon through 9 mon and 2 mon through 8 mon will give her tap by, but so far hasn't been able to hit. Suura, if he can draw it into a 7-so or a 3-pin or a 5-pin, he gets the Sanonko chance.
That's true.
And that will make it a lot easier for him to get the Hanuman to get a point.
We don't see any of the 8 of bamboo out there. I'm just trying to think, like, the really out there thing would just be to Khan and hopefully get lucky with the Ura flip, with the Dora flip, but either way, we do finally see the reach from Tojyo. Intent is clear. Is Suura going to take this reach? An extra 1,000 points to the table? I don't think it's going to matter too much, but they are going to keep the Tenpai, but they're not going to reach.
The extra 1,000 points is pretty relevant, though, because Monk on Sumo will put him into 3rd.
I would have to quickly recheck over what happens on a tie.
There's Homba, so it should tie. But I also am curious.
With the one Homba, there wouldn't be a tie. Exactly. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm curious about the choice to go for 6-9 mon. It's Riichi Pinhu Dora 1. Of course, Sumo is going to be good enough for her to overtake. But some roams are not enough. As opposed to taking the 5-8 mon weight for Riichi Tanyao Dora 1. Now Roan is enough in all ways. But there's the 6. It's not going to matter. That is the expensive side. No Uda required. She's going to take over first place. Riichi Pinhu Tanyao Dora 1 Mangan. And the seesaw finally settles in Tojyo's favor.
Of course, it's Suura who deals in, unfortunately. But then Suura had the real choice, right?
No, not at that spot anymore. First place goes to Tojyo with a +3.
Congratulations to Team Orfeu. Also, congratulations to Team DD2. This is an amazing match, and 2 for their team is still going to be huge, given that they are in first place. In fact, how do the scores look now? With DD2 scoring 2, they had a 4-point lead. Maybe it's 3 points now. I don't know. Or maybe they've pulled ahead even more. I'm not sure.
Yeah, let's check it out. We've got scores updated for game 1. After DD Studio pulls a second, they're up to 57 points. And
interesting enough, it looks like Team All Serious also took a 4th. So Alban still somehow surviving in 15th place.
Maybe an opportunity to gain some ground, but not meant to be. We're going to see a definite battle there at the cut line. Looks like AMC.
Yeah, we'll be following the first place team for the televised tables, though, so it'll be Team DD Studio for the next match. And for the next match, I believe, we'll be seeing the wonderful Jenn.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That was such an exciting match. The lead kept changing. I think we saw the person in first change like 6 times during that match.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I know what Rio has done with her hair, but I really liked it in this. It's different than I remember.
I just want to point out that Tojyo dropped 24,000 points directly to Yajima and still beat him out for first.
I was thinking about that because when that happens, then you kind of think about, oh well, if I hadn't dealt that in, and think about how many points our team would have had, which doesn't matter that much in this competition because it's only placing, but it happens, and that sort of thing happens in a lot of games, and it means you're playing really aggressively. So a lot of times the players that deal in like that are the ones who are gonna come back like that, and if you're not willing to take those sort of risks, then it's going to be a lot harder to come back from that. So it's really hard to gauge, like, oh, should I have actually folded that hand? Because you have to apply it to the other hands you play as well. This game really made me think about that.
It was also one of those situations where it was sort of a freak accident, right? Like, a lot of things aligned for that 24,000 point deal to happen.
That's true.
With the early honor discards, maybe not completely masking, but slightly masking the flash. And the fact it was a 9, and I think the 8 was called as well. So a lot of things happened. I think it was also Suji safe as well. So a lot of stars aligned for that 24,000 points dealing to happen. But what a dealing it was! And what a great recovery, yeah.
I mean, Yajima, we have seen Yajima play I think we've seen him play almost every single one of his games this season because DD Studio has just stayed at the top, so they've been the featured team every week, or every session. But he has just been super on his game. He is an A-leaguer in NPM, so we expect that level of play, but man, he's really showing up for this tournament.
And we'll see more from DD Studio in the upcoming Game 2. Thank you, though, Chiral, for hopping in to the commentary for Game 1. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. Tune in. 3 more games after this next one you're going to be seeing. It's going to be good.
All right, Jen, are you ready to check out the players for Game number 2?
Sure.
All right.
And I think the leagues are even all correct. Geki Shimoishi playing for DD Studio, a fellow NPM member to Toru Yajima, a teammate as well, of course. In the South Seat, Seto from JPML. She's actually in the same league with me, and I played with her last month, and I will play with her tomorrow also. Harunobu Fujisawa in the West Seat from JPML playing for the Dohaji. Oh, sorry, Seto was playing for Real Partner. Harunobu Fujisawa playing for Dohaji. He was the former director for X-Furin Kazan, the M-League team. I think he still works very closely with the team because he works for TV Asahi, which is a big sponsor of the main sponsor of X-Furin Kazan. And the North Seat Kei Takahashi, who of course was first place overall for the individual standings in last year's World Reach Online Team League. Also was at the World Reach Championship.
Yes.
She did a short for the JPML English channel as well with her cats.
Yeah, I haven't checked her to see where she stands in this year's online team league.
Yeah, she is playing. I have not played yet. I don't know if I'm having a team or not. I think Gemma and I were trying to have one, but I refused to make a team. So we have 3 maybe. So we'll see if we get a team completed.
There's no issue if I play on 2 teams, right? That aside, it should be a really exciting game too. DD Studio, can they pull off the top of this qualified season? 4 points ahead of the closest competition. We'll see if Shimoishi can carry his team forward, but also a lot to play for all of these other teams as well.
Yeah, I think especially Dohaji is down toward the bottom, so they need to not lose basically to stay in the running. Message in the chat. If I ever decide to play Reach in real life, what are some good things to keep in mind? I've only ever played Reach within the Yakuza games and online. You can go from playing from online to live. Did you make that transition actually?
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting because I first learned live, but very quickly played most of my games online, and for several years only played online before finally coming back to playing more in person, at least a little bit in person. I still play most of my games online though.
I think that the biggest thing I see people struggle with when they make that transition is where to cut the wall. Usually people don't struggle that much with what to discard. It's more about like the little hand movements and when to say pon and when to.
Yeah, I think the just the physical aspects of the game are annoying. They're annoying because I'm not used to doing them. But if I had played majority, with real tiles, then of course those would be encoded into my body, and so I wouldn't have to think so much about them. But yeah, making sure you know what you're going to call before you discard is a good tip that I would have. Because online, the tile comes out and you get a few seconds to pause and think, oh, maybe I actually want that tile. But you don't get that opportunity over the board so easily. So I think that would be my...
I think also knowing what you're going to discard if you call on the other side. A lot of people call and then they're like, oh crap, what am I supposed to discard here? Like it wasn't even considered.
We've already seen a couple calls in this hand. One for Toy Toy, and I always hate that spot that I think it's next player in line, Shimoishi, that has called a pawn and then has the remaining tiles paired up. 5 pairs. Like, I could have been Chitoi Senpai.
I thought it was only one away from Tenpai when he called. It's really a paired board right now. A lot of hands with a lot of pairs, and I'll take the more efficient shape, except for I think that he's already kind of Furiten with that 3-4-4 character shape.
It's so funny though to call back the tile that you discarded, so I approve. Also Furiten with a 2 so 3, so having the 1 so in the discards, so we'll just throw that back. Can this be Sanchoku? It's really awkward arrangement of tiles. You can cut something like 3-pin, lock the 5-pin pair, but then you're losing the door acceptance. You could maybe cut 8-pin and hedge. I should play straightforward here.
I'm gonna get sort of a sneak peek into how she plays for. Oh, and he draws back that Furiten shape, Shimoishi with the 5.
You pausing to take some notes. Okay, when she thinks and then cuts this tile, she probably is. I always like looking at a potential Sanchoku 1, 2, 3, but I'm not convinced that this is going to come together for Takahashi King.
It looks like I think she wants it to because she discarded that 5.
Yeah, she's definitely playing for it. I appreciate. Now the 2-pin is going to deal in. I was a little bit worried about it. It will be 3 Han, 2 Dragon Calls, and the Dora in hand. So 3,900 going the way of Fujisawa. This is very similar to the way the last game started. Seto.
I think they accidentally gave. Oh shoot! No, the names are. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
My names are correct, and I think the Japanese names were incorrect. The
They're
kanji
in the process
was.
of fixing that. Yeah.
Yeah. It looked like they had Takahashi in the west seat and Fujisawa in the north seat. And of course they're in the opposite positions. So we had it right on the English side.
Ready for Jen?
Which is exciting because usually it's the other way around.
Yeah, Seto will be our dealer here with the 7 Sodora, none in hand, but she has a really nice looking central tiles or some type of pinchu or tateniu. Takahashi, nice 8-mon pull. Shimoishi here with a lot of outside shapes. 8-mon pair is a little bit awkward, and he'll just cut away from that immediately if you're planning to go for an outside hand. You can't really use 2 8-mon unless you're making 2 sequences. So he just cuts one away and says, maybe if I draw a 7-mon or a 9-mon, I can make a sequence there. Otherwise, I'll just cut them both. So Dora, some incentive to keep the 9-so as an additional connector to Dora, but doesn't really fit in Takahashi's hand. So perhaps that 9-so will be leaving in the near future.
Fujisawa's hand is filling in really nicely.
I
A
believe he's
couple of 3, 4, 5 shapes too.
Shoten now. Looking for a pair.
Right there, yeah. Look, 3, 4, 5 coming just one away from that shape being tenpai.
The really nice thing about that shape in particular is if you find your pair in the weak block by pairing up the 3-so or the 5-so, you can just take the Riichi, and if you draw into the Sanchoku with the 3-pin, you don't have to end up on a Tonka. You can just slim away, trim down from the 8-pin triplet, cut one, make it a pair, and wait on the 4-so for guaranteed Sanchoku. Now, if you draw a 6-pin, you're just sad.
You think when you're playing the hand, you think, what's the worst thing I can draw here? And it's not good for everybody because sometimes when you think like that, it feels like you manifest it.
I see.
In that case, you're kind of like, just don't draw the 6 dot. That's the only thing
I'm
that
actually
has no value. Terrible shapes.
Will you like take the Kanchan Riichi there, or you cut the 3-so or 5-so and try to find a better weight if you drew the 6-pin?
I think I cut the 3, so probably.
Yeah,
I know
that's what I was
sacrilege,
thinking.
but but I want to. It would be really easy to find a better weight in the pinzu and the dots after that. If you have the 4, 5s, or the dots or the bams, I think.
Yeah.
And I think I probably might not even take the Nobeton if I get it on one of the other suits. I probably would wait one more. But it really depends on the score situation as well.
Oh,
But
there's the
generally, that's my
6-pin.
ideal way to play it. There it
we
is.
talked about it too much, and he'll just take
And he'll
the
take tenpai.
no Riichi though. So I guess he's hoping for the 3-pin or a Yamen upgrade with a 2-so or 6-so draw.
Yeah, there's plenty of upgrades, way more upgrades than there are winning tiles, especially with 2 of them stuck here in Seto's hand.
And one's cut already.
Although it kind of looks like she might discard one of them.
Yeah, in the future, depending on which pair turns into a sequence. Ooh, hello.
Yeah, kind of a pretty outside hand for Shimoishi. It's taking a long time to manifest, but it's looking really
Oh,
nice.
there's the tile you're looking for. I mean, that's good enough, right? Riichi door 2?
No. What?
Dama.
Okay, but you're waiting on the Dora indicator. Middleweight.
Yeah, but how long are you going to
And
continue to
you did
wait?
not reach either.
That's a really nice chi for Shimoishi. Junchan Sanshoku. Oh, 3 Dora.
Okay, now you have another
Okay.
Dora.
I guess rewarded for waiting, but let's it go.
Oh, no, but
It's 3D10.
well, the thing is, he's afraid of being 30-10 with a Shabo weight,
Yeah.
which is fair, but his dots, you have just so much potential to change the weight.
Yeah, the issue is if
I
you
think
want to
we
go
discard
8-pin,
the 8 dot there.
right? You sometimes get 3D10 on the 3-so that was cut earlier. Just a really awkward way
I
that
mean, yeah, a
hand is
lot of
developed.
backfires, sort of.
Yeah.
It's like Suedo backfires, it feels like.
I think oh, Sumo finds the 6-so. Not many of those left. In fact, that was the last copy of the 6-so, but we'll find the Tsumo door too and extend the lead a little bit further. I wonder Another possibility I was thinking about was just cutting the 5-so and turning the 8-pin pair into some sort of sequence. Draw the 7-pin, you're really happy. But this
Yeah,
turned
I
out quite
mean,
well.
yeah, when I mentioned discarding the 8 pin, then you still leave that
Ah,
potential.
you're right, of course.
And then if you get the 6, so which you'll probably get since you gave up Senpai, then you you can have a slightly better weight, possibly.
I guess the only
You're back
thing
to
that
that 4-7 weight.
cutting the 5-so does is it gives you some like redraw the 8-pin Pritsumo, which doesn't seem that likely, so I agree. 8-pin for sure. Or to play as Fujisawa did and win the hand.
I
Oh,
mean,
is this Tempai
I think
already?
that there was potential, like, it is, and it will be reach too. I think that he could have definitely justified a reach waiting for that 6, though.
Oh, for sure. I think I would not have been able to hold back on the Riichi. Shimoishi, though, what a hand. 2 draws, feels a Kanshan for the Suji trapped 7. Usually you don't get to set up this trap so early, but they just
Everyone
came.
else's hands are looking really kind of nice, though. Takahashi kind of looks like she's going for Kokshi. But look at these hands are like everything good is coming. Someone is going to end up dealing in, I feel like.
I guess if
Okay,
you.
she's just folding 100%, it
Mm,
feels like now.
such an early Riichi. And also, it wasn't like normal early discards for this Riichi. Usually you see, a terminal tile, like a 1, maybe an honor, and then a Riichi. But no, it's just central tile, Riichi. If I saw that, I would think maybe this is some type of Chitoi that's happened. It's come together really quickly. But if you believe it's Chitoi, 7 pairs, then the weight could be literally any tile, except for the ones that have come out already. So I think at that point you might just play almost normally.
I think in most situations, people are just going to play normally. And that's why you see all these hands coming together. 3, 4, 5, Sanshoku also in Seto's hand.
Love to see a Sanchoku potential. I haven't been counting the 7, so I do know we've seen a couple. Shoten. Seto really wants the 5 mon that comes to Fujisawa instead. Jun is a no-go for Seto. Fujisawa. Another 9 mon. That is safe. Takahashi, the player that has been defending the most, but actually is finding her way to a Tempai. Should we consider the upright here? Maybe 5-pin for the Sanchoku hedge? No, just plays the immediate 5. So it will get called by Takahashi into Tempai. Deciding on his weight, picks the 3-pin, the Dora, naturally. Takahashi still Ishanten here. And that's a Tempai. Each P Dora 2. 1 so 4 so.
Yeah, no waiting for the 2, 3, 4 upgrade.
I think it's correct to not wait, although it saddens me a little. Oh, the 7! That is going to be found by Shimoishi. Finds no Dora, though. Riichi Itsu for 5-2, plus the sticks. Oh, it's,
Bad luck there. The only thing is, as dealer, I think you can also maybe not reach there. The other play, you can see Fujisawa is going for it. Might be easier to win if you're not conspicuous. Oh, she's not dealer, sorry. I don't know why I thought she was. Nothing. I didn't say anything.
her dealership passed so quickly if you saw the win.
Yeah.
Felt like it still should have been her dealership. It is Takashi's turn now. 1 pin Dora. She has a 2-3 pin to connect to it. Wow, 5 pin fills in great for Shimoishi. He looks like he's really fast. Didn't catch a whole glimpse of that hand, but it looked very promising. Or do you shunt them? And with the 2 pairs in hand, there's a world where he just decides to trim down from one of those pairs and play for sequences as well. Could get really greedy with it. I can imagine another Itsu brewing in the Manzu. Fujisawa, a very happy 3-pin draw. Just as Takahashi has 2-pin, 3-pin means that you can use a Dora in your hand. Hold for the dealer, advancing to Tenpai, still needs to create one more shape. And yet, just as predicted, he will trim down from the pin tiles. I like cutting the 6-pin a lot of times and setting up a Tsuji trap on the 9-pin, but the 9-pin being once visible as the Dora indicator doesn't seem like that would be too useful, and Takahashi will find her final shape. Now it just needs to complete them. And with the Dragon Call, she can, of course, make further calls, including this 7-pin. She, Ishanten, with 8 so pair, she needs to complete the 4 or 5 so. And the 2-3 pin. 3, 4, 5 Sanchoku available. So Shimoishi will play the 2 mon out, lock that 3, 4, 5 mon shape in. And there's the Dora draw. Ideal. Tenpai draw. Oh, this is awkward. So the hand had a plan. It was going to be Pinhu with 3, 4, 5 Sanchoku. And yeah, he says, you know what? I don't actually need this Dora.
Yeah, just stick to the plan. Almost in first place. Close enough to first place.
Another Dora found. Will it be the greed play 1 so cut? No. 2 so Dama. And as a result, he will not be able to claim the win on the 1 so that comes out. That was Tenpai, right? I wasn't mistaken.
Looked like Tenpai to me. He's playing a little bit timidly.
I agree. This is not to say that, positionally speaking, it wouldn't necessarily be correct. I'm not sure what goal his team has in mind, but if your plan is to Dama a win, then I feel like cutting the 1 so makes some sense there, so you can at least snipe the 3 so with Sanchoku Dora 1.
Obviously doesn't know how special the 3 so is either.
Ah, I see. Well, we have the special 6 mon. That's Tenpai. The Tanyao side as well. So we have potentially Riichi, Pinhu, Tanyao, Sanshoku. If the 3 so is the winner.
And Seto trying to decide here what to discard. She hedged everything. That 5, 6, 7 shape.
I love it, but there are no Genbutsu in this hand. And with a 4-pin, 6-pin coming out, can you trust the 7-pin Tsuji?
I think you might just go for the 9 so pair discard. It's maximum value for your hand. There it is.
Yeah, why think about defense when you can just win the hand? Ah,
Oh.
the
Fujisawa.
unfortunate. He's gonna fold.
Fujisawa is so he actually became a pro after becoming the director of Extruding Kazan.
Ah, that's really
All of
interesting.
his team members were JPML members, and he ended up testing as well later. So he's very recent, became a pro within the last 5 years or so, I think. I'm pretty sure. Which Kisei is he?
We do see the Takame Tsumo, the 3 so for the Sanchoku. Hanuman. Big draw for Shimoishi, who will take the lead over from Fujisawa. Positions are starting to solidify a little bit. We'll have dealership pass back to Shimoishi.
Yeah, 37 Kisei, 37 class. So he joined in Probably 20-ish, 21-ish.
Right around that 4 to 5 year range you were talking about.
Yeah.
And we were talking a little bit about reasons that you might choose to play a little more passively. If it's not just a personal play style, I certainly myself am somewhat of a passive player, although my love Sanshoku is too strong to not play for that 3-cell. I'm sure that in a team tournament like this, you have a discussion with your teammates about what your goal is, how you're going to choose to play when you go up, especially in the early rounds. Once it gets to the final round, I think your conditions are pretty set, but in the few rounds before, there's still a little bit of thought to be had about what sort of strategy you want to come to the table with.
I was thinking about his teammates. One teammate is Pajama Toriya, um, comedy writer, and also part of a big YouTube group called Sushi Boys. And Misaki Hayashi. So I don't know that much about her. Oh, she's the announcer. That's right. I do know about her. She was the MC at the World Reach Championship.
Ah,
So it's really an entertainment team.
I
Work in
see.
the entertainment industry. Yeah. So she's an announcer. Fujisawa working at TV Asahi, of course, and Pajama Toriya on the writer side of the the TV industry.
Like covering all the
So probably,
bases.
yeah. So I'm not sure how much strategy they have. It's probably more of a let's have fun in this.
There they
And if we
are.
win, we'll be excited.
Fujisawa sitting in second place in this game, doing quite well. I saw, of course, I think it was Takahashi with a strong hand. We'll get a peek in a second. I think she was floating a Kutsuki Shanten, holding a few completed shapes, and then 2 lone tiles that are looking for something to stick to. The 4 pin and the 4 mon, and she finds another 4 mon. That's not quite the tile you're looking for. You have a 4, 5, 6 so, 5, 6, 7 so, and the 8 so pair. Would you ever just throw back one of these pairs tiles, like the 4 mon? She will. I feel like normally the 8 so cut has a little more acceptance, but with the 3 so already having been discarded, the Fujiten issue means the 4 will go back, and she'll look for a better weight. South is no good.
I mean, with the Fujiten, oh yeah. Yep. It is the sticky one-away shape, Kutsuki.
Seven draws a 7, discards a 7 from hand. Okay, now this is the downside of you're hoping to get a better shape than what you've got here, but might not be possible to change anymore. Maybe you still continue cutting the Monzu and just hope to your last resort is the 4 pin. Draw something good around that. Like the Dora. One pin, that's no good. Of course, she still has the 3 mon draw around the 4 mon. That is quite strong. She's chilling on a tempai here. 3 mon and the pin pair as well. Not feeling the need to slam a Riichi.
Alright, it's Tenpai. This is like second or third Geki-ish Tenpai shape, but we'll just have to take it eventually.
She feels no need to Riichi here when she can sumo or draw into Ipeiko. Continuing to shift around. Interestingly, Shimoishi has drawn the 4 pin, which gives him Sanshoku and Dora weight as well. So this is a really expensive hand here. 12,000 points. Tanyo, Sanshoku Dora, if you can find the 5 pin. if you're really thinking in a value way, you say, no one is ever going to drop the Dora. So the only way I win this hand is to draw it myself. And if I'm going to draw it myself, I might as well Riichi for the Hanuman. Oh, and he finds the 5-pin Simo. Will just be the Mangan, Sanjoku, Tanya Dora 1. But again, this is a position-based league, and winning 12,000 points here all but locks the position of first place for Shimoishi. Now, we did see the last game, your 50,000 points, not necessarily safe, but...
Yeah, but I think that I mean Takahashi might be able to make a decent run against Shimoishi, but I think that we see Fujisawa is playing on more on the safe side. It's
Right.
probably unlikely we'll see him go on a really big run the way that Tojyo did.
Yeah, you were noting... Well, this hand's actually kind of incredible with the number of pairs it has, but you're noting that Tojyo may be able to come back, might deal in due to being aggressive, but can come back due to being aggressive. Whereas if you're a passive player, you generally don't fall back behind too much because you're not dealing in, but it's also a little harder to come back because or lack of aggression means it sometimes you miss out on opportunities that were a bit risky but would have come to fruition. I have to say, none of these hands are exciting me the way that our dealer's hand is. Maybe Seto with the outside chance at some sort of Mitsu Chanta towards the south, and that's going to slow things down for whoever draws one. Slows you down right up to the point where you draw 2, and then speeds you up. Fujisawa will commit to the flush, though. And one of the nice things about a flush when you have an honor tile Dora is that every flush hand can use a Dora. Every flush hand is in the Dora suit when the Dora suit is the honor suit.
There's so many single honors. I was
There.
looking at how many honors there were on the board.
We see our first Dora pair up for Takahashi. Interestingly, cutting the 7-pin, so that indicates she's less willing to take a Riichi on the penchon. He believes that she can call this out. This hand for Shimoishi that I was hoping would go vertically has drawn sequences, so staying horizontal.
Yeah, if you're new to the terms horizontal, it's generally going to refer to sequences. So the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shapes, and vertical is more paired and triple up shapes.
You know, when I was first learning Mahjong, there was a player in my group that would take those terms literally. If he drew multiples of the same tile, he would actually just put them on top of each other. And it was always entertaining to see. It's not a common thing to do, though, in live play. Oh, the 3, so that's 50-10, so out goes the 4, so we're just going to continue to drop away from these shapes.
I mean, it ends up being quite a technical term as well. I use it when you're analyzing hands, but not so much just in like regular daily play at the table.
Seven pin, a little bit suspicious now that the flush player has opened up on the 3 pin. We will see Seto opening up again, and calls coming fast and furious now. Fujisawa Tempai on the 7-pin. The 7-pin that was saved for a turn by our dealer. I think he's going to have to just bail out now. The worry is that either Seto or Fujisawa is holding 2 or 3 of the Dora, and that Honitsu is going to be a lot more expensive than just 2,000 or so points. 3,900 even. Oh, there's the 7-pin, and Seto suddenly in big trouble. Takahashi as well. Less inclined to drop the 9-pin here. We'll just play it though. If Seto ever sees the east, I checking the board to see Hamir live. It looks like it's been cut once. But if she gets the call, almost certainly we'll have to play out the 7-pin. At the same time, the only player that can really cut the east is Fujisawa himself. So maybe there's a chance that Seto never progresses that far. She continues the folding path, and this is good enough. This is out. Oh, actually, I didn't notice. I completely forgot that the east is the door indicator, so there are just none left. I guess those statements were still true. If the east comes out, then she would have to call it, but it was never going to happen. So it looks like we are heading to a draw.
They made the first draw of the game.
If these hands have gone to a conclusion, basically always, we'll switch the weight here. 2-pin, 5-pin, 8-pin. Not the classic Samanjan way, but...
Oh, okay.
Well, okay, technically it's... You can still use that term, but... Not the sequence way.
I was just worried that 8 might come out, but she discarded the 6 instead from Takahashi.
Ah, I see, yeah. Because she did play out the 9 earlier. There's the last Dora. That will be held. And
that will be it. Just one player temp by Fujisawa.
so that's...
Go into South 2.
It's a 4,000 point gain, net gain on Shimoishi, but there's still so much ground to make up. You're going to have to expect him to need to hold a few hands on his dealership. We go to Seto, though, who I think only finds herself in last because she hasn't won a hand yet. Can't really remember any major deal-ins other than like a 39 to start the game off. And, well, if there's ever time to win a hand, it would be right now in your final dealership. Not a bad high pie. No Dora. No real value outside of some reach P for maybe Tanyo. But that's good enough to get the ball rolling. Pair acquired. So really all the blocks she needs in hand. Just going to enhance them as much as she can.
We went from some really amazing hands at the beginning of the game to Seto's hand is actually looking really nice as dealer, but the other ones look really slow.
Yeah, 5 so small improvement for Takahashi, but still a ways to go. Similarly, Shimoishi really in the wait and see territory. Seto, media tempai? No, but improved shape. And going to value the shape rather than the chance at 456 Sanshoku.
As dealer, she is dealer this time. You want to go as
Yes.
quickly as possible.
Pedora. Tough to drop that so easily. Hatsu first. At this point, the other hands have progressed enough to actually look like they could maybe complete. Shimoishi even showing some promise after drawing a 4, so doesn't need 2 though. We'll start with the Haku though. The dealer will start clearing the door. 1 leaves the hand. Gosh, he will still hold on to it. Of course, even once caught, a pair of door is still a possibility. And she knows it's safe against the dealer, who now declares Riichi. Riichi Pinifu, potentially Peiko on the 7 so. But even if she doesn't win the hand, the mission has been accomplished here for Seto. Get to a tempai, ask the dealer, apply pressure, and try to find your way to your next hand. If you collect additional points, the 7 so draw in particular, that would be ideal. You see 3 of the 4 so, 2 of the 7 so, 3 of the 7 so. Not many tiles in this weight left in the wall. For Seto though, Summon Pifu, if she does get the 7 for Ipeiko and an Ura, means there's a chance at 12,000 points.
Could be back in the game really quickly there. And it is sort of the last chance to get back into the game as well.
Well, the expensive out and outdrawn by Takahashi, so perhaps the best you can do is reach Itsumo Pifu with Ura. All these so tiles around the weight, but not the winner.
Yeah, I think all the 7s are sort of locked up.
I think
2
we're
in
down
Takahashi's hand.
to a single
1,
4.
of course, in Seto's own hand, yeah. And then... Is there one more? Oh, there's one more on the board already, so...
Oh yeah, I think that 4 is held by Fujisawa, so might be drawing dead at this point. I thought I remembered seeing a 4 on the board. Perhaps there is still one on the wall.
Yeah, 3 in hands.
Nope, make that
There's
4.
the
Okay,
last
we
one.
found it.
All right. It looks like we'll see one more draw in this hand, likely. Fujisawa may get to Tenpai with those all pairs.
She also threatening a Tenpai. If she could draw 2 5-pin or call it, there is... Oh, a 9-pin works as well. Chi for Tenpai makes some sense to me here.
Yeah, just Tenpai for the exhaustive draw. Get that extra points, or at least lose no points,
And
and she'll take it.
1 pin is safe against the Riichi. Just came out recently as well. The one thing with this chi is that Fujisawa will have, or sorry, Takahashi will have to make one more draw, and it's safe. It's a Dora, and the Dora is safe.
All right, and one more exhaustive draw. So Seto will get one more chance at dealer. Try and get back in the game here.
So that Takahashi finding Tempai is actually pretty important here. Seto was hoping to make up some ground, pick up 1,000 from each player. But as it turns out, since Takahashi also picked up 1,500 points, the distance, the gap between Seto and Takahashi is now widened, given the Riichi stick that's left over in the middle of the table. Now, of course, if Seto wins the hand, that won't be an issue, but it's looking tough with that early, that high so many honor tiles. Fujisawa already completing a penchant 1, 2, 3. So Yajima and Phil for Takahashi 2, 3, 4 Mon. It looks like Seto probably has the worst hand at the table, the slowest. That East could be big. One has been discarded already, but there's still one more on the wall. She can open up, and maybe with that in mind, yeah, she's going to start to call other shapes as well. 2 Mon Pom. By opening in this fashion, she can potentially slow other players down too. Going so far as to cut 9 pins, 7 pins. So not only is it an early aggressive dealer call, but also cutting an entire block. To be fair, 9 pins, 7 pin, not so usable when you've got a plan of Tanyao. However, if you had the triplet of honor tiles in your hand already, you would be able to use that. So maybe players will not be suspecting the East as a weight in the future as much. Of course, there's many reasons why that block could be leaving the hand, so can't rely on that so easily. Shoten for Fujisawa. Finds an improved shape as well, now heading towards Pinfu. Takahashi has the ability to call south if it comes out. Seto holding one this long. Hoping to get closer to Tempai before giving.
And also, I think hedging the flush for Seto. She called Manzuri.
Yes, 2 Mon. Yeah, you're right.
So she might, yeah, get rid of, if she pulls the south, then she'll probably get rid of those bamboos.
Oh, we're going to see a Riichi, though. 6 Mon, 9 Mon, Riichi, Dora 1. Now the south will pass without getting called, but it's a more dangerous threat. Seto not in a position to say much about it. We'll just have to fight. I guess it is East 2, so there's still a chance, but it feels like if Takahashi wins this hand, it is going to be very challenging to come back. So while you're Ishan 10, it might just be best to take the challenge. And this is a Tempai. East East. We'll play for the Tanyao. It's hard to rely on a single tile with which to win.
Interesting. It's a safe 4 dot, but the shapes remaining are so hard to work with for Fujisawa.
This is a different Tempai. 5 Mon, 7 Mon. Fujisawa has a 5, 6, 6, 6, 7 Mon shape. All those tiles deal in. That means Seto might not have any tiles remaining, just down to, yeah, the final 5 and 7 are in Takahashi's hands. So between Fujisawa and Takahashi, Seto once again has no winning tiles. Now she can change the weight. She finds the correct mon tile. For example, the deadly 6 mon could lead to a weight swap. No 6 mon left in the wall though. $608, extremely uncomfortable tile to push, and yet Seto did so with little hesitation.
Oh, I just remembered. I think Fujisawa also has like sort of study sessions. He plays with Takahashi K often. K Takahashi. I think with Remi Otsuki, who is also on Takahashi's team.
I saw her in the commentary booth.
Yeah. So it could be that Fujisawa and Takahashi have some insight on each other's play as well.
The 4-7 Tsuji looked really bad. 9 felt like it was a bit safer, but that will deal in to the Riichi Dora. 3 home buzz well. Takahashi will collect the sticks. Is that Fujisawa's?
It was dealt in by Seto to Takahashi.
There's a bit of an overlay error. They'll fix it now. Added it accidentally to the wrong hand.
And once again, we are on top of it on the English side.
Fujisawa will have the dealership. His hand, it's okay. I really dislike seeing 258 mon in my hand. It's one of the shapes I like the least. But it does accept every single mon tile, so ideally he would pull in a 4 mon Dora. Seto, it's going to be a real struggle to come back here with only 2 hands yet to play. Well, speaking of pulling in the 4 mon Dora, that is an absolutely fantastic draw. South paired up a second hand in a row for Takahashi. She is double South, Sea Wind and Round Wind. So call there would be a significant amount of value. Also has the Hatsu pair in hand. We might see a pull. Oh, lets it go? Is it a Chitoi consideration?
Seto's hand looks like Chitoi. There's really another paired board. Look at this, even Takashi's hand. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Maybe it actually is Chitoi. What a read. It's one of those things where you just don't want to call the first one. Wonder, since it's a paired board, pairs can turn into triplets. And one triplet can turn
That's
into
what
2.
I always prefer.
It could turn into 3, can turn into 4.
Double South. Yeah, double South pull for Takahashi. She will not take those pairs. I do not like them. Sam, I am.
It did not call the green dragon on the early cut, but will call the double South, and certainly the second dragon should it come out.
Yeah, and probably the 1s and 5s as well.
For sure.
I don't know, but the door is the 4. Maybe the 1, but not the 5. Shall see.
There's another triplet. We're up to 2. 4, 5, 6 Sandra was possible here with a 3 so cut.
Take the perfect 1-away shape.
7-pin no-go. Where the 2-mon has been cut. 1-mon are paired up. Takahashi's hand.
If Fujisawa just locked in, did Fujisawa locked in the 4-5-6 shape? Not taking the 3-sided weight, 2-5-8 shape.
Going for the value. Gets the 8-pin. Pinhu Sanshoku Dora. That's a 12,000 point hand. And will we see?
Interesting. Yeah, I think you see a lot of players take the 3-sided weight and reach that as dealer.
Yeah, I have to say, I really like that Sanchoku lock-in, personally. I mean, I have no secret about loving Sanchoku as a Yaku, but the ability to also Dama and be able to snipe Shimoishi, the leader for 12,000 points, I think has a lot of utility. But he did get it from Takahashi, and it's hard to turn down 12,000 points. The gap is just a Mangan win away for Fujisawa. And if you're Seto, you don't know that your 1-mon was paired up in another player's hand. Surely you have to think a little bit. I was Ishan Suwango. That was my hand. That was my comeback. You never know when the next big hand will arrive and just get another chance. Also, with Takahashi eating that 12,000 points, the gap to Seto is reduced drastically. So there's a clear target now for Seto to come back and earn 1 point for her team.
Think Real Partners and Dohaji are the teams that have the most to win in this game. I don't think either of them were really in that much danger of getting in the cutoff line. Only one team gets cut, which is a very small amount for a tournament like this in the qualifying round. Usually you have a lot more teams that are cut in the first cutoff.
We were mentioning, I was talking with Chiral, and it was kind of funny. It's like in Mahjong, you want to either get first or at least avoid last. And in this tournament, first place advances to the finals, and you want to avoid last because if you're last, you get cut. It's the parallels with the game of Mahjong are too strong.
So Dohaji and Real Partner have 43 and 42 points respectively at this point, and the last place is 34 points. With only 4 games left to go, including this one. So they do need to get some safety points. Feels like, because if All Serious ends up getting first place for all 4 of the last games, they could be in trouble.
That was All Serious and Alban tied at 34 points at the end of the last game. Shimoishi Onko Pole is value triplet. We are in the south round. And this is a spot where he can now freely call to complete this hand. Can draw to Tempai and probably will not. Riichi, I assume. Riichi with the Yaku confirmed, and he just wants to guarantee the maximum win rate to make sure that Fujisawa gets off this dealership. You do have to be a little bit careful, though, if you're Shimoishi, because Fujisawa has shown that he will Dama a Mangan as dealer. And you have to be a little bit careful that you're not accidentally dropping into one of those. From this position, it really feels like he's just a step away, and he can call anything from Takahashi as well. Each Pinhu door 2 for Seto. chance to overtake into third place. 3-mon, 6-mon the weight. A lot of those tiles visible to us. 6-mon, what's held by Fujisawa. 3-mon for Takahashi. And several tiles in Shimoishi's hand. 2 discarded. 6-mon and 3-mon in hand. So down to 3 tiles for Seto.
Shimoishi looks like he's out, just keeping the option for all pairs.
2 winners now for Seto. And she really, really, really would like to win this one. Her job becomes so much easier. She could pull 3 or 6-mon out of the wall. Takahashi folding. She draws another one. He drew that 3-mon on a Ipatsu turn. And now grabs the second. Running out of time for Seto. One more draw.
Shimoishi's just looking for safe tiles, and pretty much everyone is just. So we will go into the 4th hand after this game. 4th south hand.
And there are
I mean, after this hand.
no tiles left in the wall, so this is going to end in a draw.
And the dealer will not continue. And there it is. So Seto does get some points as a single tenpai player, which means she's even in an even better position to come back to overtake Takahashi.
Gap.
Really close, actually. Just 2,100 away with a reach stick on the table. That means pretty much any win will be enough.
Yeah, especially with that
I think any win.
Yeah, any win.
Yeah.
So Seto's condition clear. Win any hand. Shimoishi. Win any hand. For Fujisawa, 12,300 away becomes 11,000 points. So, there's 2 Honba, which is actually pretty relevant. Like 600 points becomes 800 points. Still not enough to make a monk on sumo worthwhile. It's gonna have to do a little bit better. Grab a Riichi stick from somebody else. Takahashi can win any hand. There's, wow, East call, pocket Anko of South. Triplet already held. I wonder if she will consider Diamond Con if the South comes out. Knowing that if Seto wins the hand anyway, even without any extra value, she will overtake, so might as well try to search for a little bit more value yourself. South comes out, no call. And wow, that hand was almost Kokushi Tenpai. Hang on a second, I gotta look at that again.
This is very close. It's a hand that I would definitely go for Kokushi with.
2 tiles? Way. But the South already gone. And without the Diamond Con, it is not confirmed. So Fujisawa might still continue to go for it. I'm actually like really thinking hard about this Diamond Con. I really like that idea. Do you ever play the Diamond Con there? I'm thinking about weaknesses. Like one potential is that a lot of times if you have a triplet, you slim it down into your pair. And I don't think Takahashi had another pair in the hand, so maybe that's a reason to hold on. Ishanten for Fujisawa.
I wonder if that would make her deal into Kokushi.
Yeah, this is why you Diamond Con, so that you don't deal into Kokushi. Seto making progress. This is Ishanten for a 1-on hand, and that's of course all she needs.
Because look at this, Kokushi is just 1 away.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about the koshi yet because I feel like Takahashi almost always gets to use the south as a triplet, and yeah, Forso
Oh, yeah,
in
it's got it
hand.
better now.
So now it's a 4-pin wait for Takahashi. Seto rushing her own winner. Chi Tenpai found 5-8 pin versus 4-pin. Oh, but the 4-pin will come out. Fujisawa's gets to also see that his weight was completely dead.
Yeah, the dreams just gone. Takashi as dealer. South green. Which dragon was that?
East
Green
and south.
dragon? Oh, east. Sorry, yeah, east, south.
Yeah, that's not quite enough for the foo bump.
Should be 3,900. Yeah, it was. There would be a foo bump there.
Did she get another triplet?
Well, shit. With the four, I'm sorry, the 8 from the south and the 4 from the east would be the 3,900.
You're right.
At least 40 foo.
For some reason, I thought she called the south because my mind, I guess, was still on the Daimon.
Oh yeah. 3,900 plus the reach stick on the board plus the continuance.
We'll go again. The gap now widens, but Seto still has the condition to come back. I mean, we have 3 Homba now, and that helps. 7,600 points.
Yeah, it's not just any hand anymore, but now she has to actually build some points.
We'll see a call. Seto opening, forcing a flush. And another insta-pull. Maybe it's a toy instead. We'll see. It's a little difficult to make the value with just a toy though. Toy south. Still lacking. I feel like we're going to see the flush attempt. Sometimes when you have Sanako to play with, you can think about not going for the flush here, but Sanako not possible with 2 Polten calls. She opens up her own hand, gonna once again take the same tactic as Seto. It finds the door connector, so things looking good for another repeat. There's a great 4-mon fill though. Fujisawa.
We got Shimoishi's hand. Shimoishi got that fill in. Lots of pairs for Fujisawa. It's one away.
Lots of pairs is usually too many pairs.
Yes, I do not like them, Sam I am.
As expected, Seto is cutting the 3 pins away, and it will behoove Fujisawa to get
Except
rid
for
of.
that, this is all pairs with 2 Dora in the hand already.
Well, there's the South Pole. Takashi Tenpai. Seto approaching Tenpai. And wow, there's your
Yes,
Chitoi.
3 calls are still one away.
It feels like
Massive hand for
when
Fujisawa.
you've got Chibi Doko like this, pairs of 5s in each suit, that you deserve to win. He's so of course paired up in the hand of Takahashi.
Yes. Seto taking a lesson from Korak, it feels like, with all these calls and still not Tenpai.
Unfortunately, in this spot, no one threatened. The player who has to worry about that really is Takahashi with a direct deal in. But she hasn't had to drop anything dangerous just yet. Shimoishi
Well, she's
out.
out.
A little suspect. It's Fuditen though. Tough to wait on.
And he's out. What?
Wait a second. Is that a play we're allowed to make?
Yes, yes, maybe the red dragon is concerning against Seto.
Hmm. Yeah, one of the things that I would consider in this position is if we do deal into Seto, it's probably not more than Hanuman. And I'm not sure how it could be Hanuman, but if it is, we will still be ahead. But if you believe it deals into the dealer, that is a concern for sure, because if the dealer wins and you are paying potentially big value there, game does not end. You could lose even more in the future. Takahashi will pull in the correct pin tile off of Seto, who had no choice in the matter.
I don't think that anyone would read Takashi's hand as being even Mangan. But that puts Seto in a really difficult position now.
Now 15,200 points the gap. Even when you make accommodations for the Humba in play, it's still quite challenging. Takashi continues to look for more points. Seto the Hanuman, Shimoishi, if he gets a good hand, we'll try to end the game. If not, he'll just fold away. Fujisawa, and this is like the really interesting battle. The biggest chance at an overtake is maybe Fujisawa taking first place.
Yeah.
Wait, that's 17,000 points? For some reason, I thought it
Takahashi
was a little
taking
closer.
second place away from Fujisawa is probably.
Yeah, that's the more likely one. It feels like Seto needs Hanuman, Fujisawa needs Baiban. Takashi, though, as dealer, gets a lot more points for each Han, so could get really expensive really quickly. 567 Sanchoku is a bit online. Considering it, yeah, it's the 9-mon. If for no other reason, you can call for Tanya afterwards. Fujisawa's in this, Shimoishi in this really interesting spot of, I want to win the hand, and I want to have save tiles against Fujisawa.
What we call yokubari in Japanese,
Mm,
which means you have a big appetite. You want lots of things.
and unfortunately, the closer your hand gets to Tenpai, the less agency you have, and then you have to make sacrifices somewhere. And while the hand is making progress to Tenpai, Fujisawa as well, the Dora pair. And Reach, Takahashi says, I am not done with this game. This is potential value. Again, can it be stopped? Shimoishi, once again, no business playing this hand. Seto continues to aim for glory.
Sorry, Takahashi's hand is the only one that really looks like it will complete even.
It certainly seems that way. Seto might be getting close to a Chitoi, and a Chitoi always gives you hope, but there's a Tsumo. Riichi, Tsumo, Pinfu, Nathanael.
We'll go into a fifth continuance. There are no time limits on these games.
We were
So they
talking
can
about the
go
infinite game before. This is big. All those homba stacking to make the 26 all turn into 3,000 all. Takahashi now with a chance, a very real chance of taking over second place.
And it's going to be an extra 1,500 just for the continuances. 1,500 to 38. That means only 5,100. 3 Han will do it.
Look at this. Starts with 4 pairs. And that includes a Yakuhai pair. So, oh wait, hang on a second. It's Mochi Mochi Shimoishi as well with Hatsu paired up in hand. Looks like a slow start for Fujisawa, although he has pay Yakuhai.
What is Seto? Seto just discarded. Hold on. Hold on. The 789 ship, she's going straight for a flush? Which
Kokushi?
suit?
At this point, the gap is so
No,
large.
but she discarded the 9 from 789. So no Kokushi.
Oh, I believe that's a 6. That probably explains it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Looks like 3 rows.
She's keeping the
that's
9
in
sim now, so.
Oh, it's 3 rows, only 2. Oh, it's okay. 2 rows and 3 columns. Sorry, it's a little bit. The Discord resolution's a little bit lower than YouTube. So I misread that. All right, Kokushi, let's go.
And it's so
Always
fast
down
for
Kokushi.
Shimoishi. He's already 2 calls in.
I'll go for Kokushi from 7 unique honors or terminals.
Yeah, you just look for your closest Yakuman in this type of situation when you only have 1 hand and your gap is 27,000 points. Shimoishi Tempai. This is the Yaku without the Hatsu. It's a Chanta. And the 2-pin will come out, so Shimoishi finally confirming the first place. And that deal-in, I don't think there's any door there, so it is not going to change any positions. Shimoishi locks up the first place. +3 for the team. DD Studio might be locking it up here.
Sorry, the names were not. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, second place Fujisawa, third place Takahashi, and fourth place Mai Seto.
And
the timing of the names on the video there were a little bit off, but
no positions changed, so everything remains as it was going into that final round. And it had been that way for quite a while as Takahashi ran up that dealership quite a bit, but fell a little bit short of overtaking Fujisawa. And that being taken care of, we do have our standings updated 2 games into this final session. DD Studio
unstoppable,
picking up 3 points, but Jankatsu Master has, well, stayed close, only 4 points behind still. That means if DD2 Studio takes a couple fourths, Jankatsu Master picks up a couple seconds, we could have a really, really exciting final game. We will see the final 3 games of this 7th session tomorrow afternoon.
And DD Studio will be on each of those tables. They are the featured team this session. Okay, Alban dropped down again. All Serious has got a first place in this game. We didn't get to see their table, but they locked in a first place. So 3 points ahead of Alban now.
And we'll keep an eye on
And if
that.
they had a tied score as before, then they, last game they were actually in last place because of the earned points.
You're right.
All series had lower earned points, so they really needed those table scores to move up into 15th place. And we won't see these playoffs until November. It's going to be a long hiatus after the teams are decided. And it might be interesting. These teams might end up training together to go into those finals.
We're going to have like a
winners,
recap
probably.
episode.
Definitely, yeah.
Remind
And
everybody
the
how we got
winners,
here.
the winning team will all get seats in the Saikyosen for the 2026 event. So it's going to be, and it's really like those seats are just coveted. It's kind of like the WRC seats. It's really hard to qualify and get seats into the Saikyosen main event.
It's nice to be able to qualify on a team. You find your strongest friends, make a team, and then get all of you together into the tournament.
Yeah, definitely. It's fun too. I mean, and there's so many amazing players in this event that you get to play with. I think that it must just be an amazing experience. All right, and besides tomorrow's broadcast, we also have the Sankei Shimbun Cup, Sankei Shimbun Cup on the 14th and 15th. So don't miss those. Make sure you're liked and subscribed. Notifications on so that you will know when we start streaming. Tomorrow's 1 hour earlier, by the way. Don't forget, because we have an extra game. So we'll be starting at 4 p.m. Eastern and 5 a.m. JST. Whew.
All right, you won't want to miss it. The final 3 games of the regular season, we will determine our champion. Will it be DD Studio? We will also determine the player that will be leaving us before our playoffs in November. So check it out tomorrow evening. I think I'll be streaming that, and we'll be joined by another fantastic crew of commentators. So we'll see you.
Same crew as today.
We'll see you for the finals
Nate
tomorrow.
has to do 3 games. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody.